A woman never belongs to you. It's just your turn. You lost your edge, she lost attraction for you. That's how it works. What'd you think she was gonna do? Tell you she cheated? Men cannot afford to get complacent in relationships. Get your fat ass off the couch, start lifting weights, and learn game. You're welcome.
And now your man,
Donovan Sharp.
What's up, guys? It's your man, Donovan Sharp, and welcome to the 1200th episode of TSR Live, your daily dose of toxic masculinity, misogyny, and small dick energy. It is Tuesday, October the 14th of 2025. It is good to have you guys in this afternoon / evening out on the East Coast. Obviously, it's a 5:15 here on the West Coast. Hashtag West Side till I die. Had to change my headgear because the other thing was just really getting itchy. Hair was getting a little longer, and it gets a little tough to take care of. Yeah, man. Look, let's not waste any time. Let's not waste any time, guys. Let's just go ahead and get right into it. Let me remove this video here quickly. Let's go ahead and get right into it. This was Myron Gaines making an appearance at Penn State University, which is located in State College, Pennsylvania. Oh man, I should have grabbed some water, but it is what it is. Good to have you guys in today. Glad that you guys could make it. I'm not going to waste a lot of time, guys. We're just going to get right into it because this is I think this is like a 2-hour debate. Let's get it. Okay, I guess we're getting a little off to a slow start.
She's her thing's off.
Hello?
Yep, I can hear you.
Finally. Yes.
All right.
God.
1, 2, 3. Test. 1, 2, 3. Test.
Yep, we're good. 1, 2.
All right, ninjas, give me ones in the chat if you guys could hear me. Okay, I see a bunch of ones. All right. Welcome to the stream, motherfuckers.
Yeah.
All right. Coming to you guys live from Penn State out in Pennsylvania, out in the boonies. Had to take 3 different planes to get out here.
God
but we're
damn.
here today. As you guys know, today is October 14th, the birthday of Charlie Kirk. And
yes, Myron. Myron already knew. He was like, you know what? Let's stir the pot. Let's trigger these bitches. Happy birthday to Charlie Kirk.
This show is going to be dedicated to him.
Yes.
I have my freedom shirt on, but it's really cold up here in the Northeast. I haven't dealt with this cold in a while. But, you know, I think it's very important that, you know, we continue to have these discussions, right? If you're not willing to say things and if you're too worried about, you know, offending people, then we can't really have real discourse.
Thank you.
Because for ideas to actually be tested and get to the truth, you have to be willing to have tough conversations. And I think...
Shout out to the lovely and talented Devin. All I mentioned was, I should have brought water. And what does she do? She brings me the water. Good stuff.
that's what Charlie stood for.
Oh my God. Yoshinobu Yamamoto just gave up a leadoff home run to Jackson Chourio. Sorry about that.
And in memorial of him, we're going to make sure that we make this a good one. We're going to keep coming out to these campuses. And, you know, for me, just a quick little background. You guys know I said...
Hey, Danny Gonzalez says today is my daughter's 18th birthday. How about that? I can't believe she's already an adult. Yeah, I've heard they grow up very quickly.
Doing the college stuff roughly around last year, late last year. Or actually, no, last spring. And we had done a few schools. And the day that Charlie was assassinated, tragically, the next day actually had UNC, University of North Carolina, Asheville, wind up. And I had to cancel it.
Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and take credit for this one. I'm going to take credit for this one. I think I talked Myron out of it. I think I talked him out of it because Myron was dead set. He was dead set on doing it. But I think a lot of people he trusted, and I don't know who reached out to him. I don't know who didn't. I'm pretty sure the Tate brothers did. I'm pretty sure Sterling, the whole gang. But I was all up in I was all up in Myron's ear. I'm texting Icy. I'm texting Fresh. I'm texting Pogson. I'm texting Bills. I'm texting Melissa. I'm texting everybody. I'm like, do not let him go to Asheville. Don't let him go to Asheville. I'm very, very happy that he decided to cancel that.
Right then and there, and I remember like a million people sending me texts like, "Hey man, you good? What's going on?" Because everyone knew I had literally a college speech the next day. But a lot of people said, "Hey man, you got to stop going to these colleges. You got to stop doing X, Y, Z." And I said, "You know what? No man, we're gonna keep pushing. We're gonna keep Charlie's memory alive. We're not gonna let these weirdos scare us away from having these difficult conversations, even if it means that we got to take a risk." And that's just life in general, right? So you're gonna live on your feet or die on your knees, right? That's what it really comes down to. So,
that's right.
You can put that right there. Thank you. So yeah, today what's the man? This is. I will tell you guys this, man. It's kind of crazy being back in the Northeast. I'm looking around and I see maybe we could show them a shot, Sean, or something like that of the wide shot. Like it's fall, and I see like trees, leaves changing colors again. I haven't seen that in years, so it's always feels good to come back to the Northeast.
Down in Miami,
even though it's cold, man. I've gotten soft, I've become a pussy now. Got a vest on.
Look at this. I like this guy. Look at this guy. This looks like a service dog, and he's holding an American flag. Good for him,
to come back to the Northeast every now and then.
Good for him, man. That dog looks a little too nice, but oh well.
Even though it's cold, man, I've gotten soft, I've become a pussy now. Got a vest on, a hoodie, and I'm still freezing. But today's topics, guys, we're going to be talking about immigration, gender dynamics, obviously, right? Why men are better than women at everything. We're also going to talk about. We're also going to talk about ICE and immigration.
Oh, wow.
So,
shit.
And as you guys know, we have the mic there. Where are we at? We're like right in dead center in the center of campus, pretty much. Yeah. So, yeah, we'll see what happens. But, yeah, man, rest in peace to Charlie Kirk. Today's stream is absolutely going to be dedicated to him, right? We're going to keep the fight going. He didn't die in vain. And, rest in peace to him and condolences to his family, obviously. Anyway, yeah, so the topic at hand today, guys, two main things. We're going to be covering ICE. I got a sign here that says ICE did nothing wrong, okay? And I'll kind of give a quick little preamble here on what we're discussing. So, as you guys know, Donald Trump won the presidency late last year. Got inaugurated, brought in around January 20th. And one of the things that he campaigned on was going harder on immigration. Now, for those that are unaware, we have a very big immigration problem here in the United States.
Yes, we do.
People come here, both legally and illegally, and abuse the system. Whether they come in through the southwest border, where a lot of them do come in, or they come in legally via visa, or whether they come in with visa waiver or a visa or student visa or whatever it may be.
I think it's funny. You can always tell the difference between, regular people and cowards. A lot of people who have a lot to say, they like to comment. They don't want to come to the mic, but they like the troll. Myron's always like, hey, man, if you got something to say, step to the mic. They almost never do. Or they come in through the border. We have a huge problem with immigration because we're getting beat on many different ends. Because a lot of people tend to think that the immigration problem is simply just people come in illegally from the southwest border. But the reality is that people are beating us also when they come in legally and overstaying their visa. And then on top of that, you have other individuals that come in legally, their status is about to expire, and then they engage in marriage fraud, document benefit fraud, etc., and then are able to effectuate a longer stay here illegally through those means. So, as you guys can see, this is a very complex issue in the United States. Now, for many years, right, what most administrations focused on was catching illegal aliens that come in through the border or coming in through maritime smuggling into South Florida. And kind of, deading it there. Hey, you're trying to come in, we catch you, we release you, we send you back, whatever. Or in some crazy situations, like the Biden administration, they let them actually stay, sign what's called a notice to appear, and let them go further into the United States, right? And then by the time their immigration hearing comes out and they got to see an immigration judge, what ends up happening is they wait for years and then they just go out into the wind. They pick up a job, they get married to somebody, whatever it may be, their status changes. So the status in which they came, a lot of the times, either changes where they have a family now, they're married, or they just go out to the wind and you can't find them. And this has been a problem for a very long time because anything that didn't get caught at the border, effectively, you're probably not going to get removed if you made it into the interior of the United States once you leave the functional equivalent of a border. So to combat this, what Donald Trump has basically been doing is he's been leveraging the many different federal agencies that we have, whether it's FBI, DEA, HSI, ATF, all these different agencies, who a lot of them don't even have immigration authority, Chad. Immigration authority is actually reserved for only just a few agencies that have That's exactly right.
And they've been doing raids all across the United States. Obviously, this has caused an uproar, especially in blue cities like New York City, Portland, LA, etc. We saw riots all over LA. We see what's going on right now in Portland. We see what's going on in Chicago. And the reason why this is such an uproar is because this has been a problem that we've effectively been kicking down the road for a very long time, where people come in, if they make it past the functional equivalent of border, they're able to stay pretty much, and ERO, or ICE, Immigration Enforcement, ICE, Immigration Customs Enforcement, the ERO component, Enforcement Removal Operations, they have not been able to do what they need to do, which is do interior enforcement. And the reason why this is a shock to so many people is because this is a problem that we've let be pent up for a while, and now that they're going out and actually doing their jobs, it's looked at as, oh my God, this is so inhumane and so messed up. But the reality is that these people are here illegally. It's very simple.
That's right. Illegally. Straight up. I don't give a shit.
Here, whether through a visa or coming in through the southwest border, and they need to be removed. Some of these people, a lot of these people are criminals. They have convictions, whether it's for misdemeanors or felonies. A lot of these people don't have paperwork. A lot of these people are committing crimes while they're here. Well, technically, if you're an illegal alien, you're committing a crime anyway.
Yep.
Right? And people tend to forget that and say, oh, no.
No, there is no technically. No, if you are here illegally, you are committing a crime, period.
Committing immigration crimes and being here illegally is not a crime. It absolutely is. 8 U.S.C. 1325.
It is.
Illegal
Thank
entry.
you.
Boom. All day. right? Or if you've been deported before and you're back here again, that's actually a felony, 8 U.S.C. 1326, right? Or if you help an alien stay in the United States illegally, that's called 8 U.S.C. 1324, harboring and transporting illegal aliens. You guys are probably wondering,
Damn, dude, Myron is rattling off all the statutes.
Myron, how do you know these numbers off the back of your head? Well, because
He's a
I
federal
used
agent.
to be a special agent of Homeland Security, so I remember, I know these types of cases like the back of my hand, immigration, INA, customs, etc. This is what I used to do. So the reality is, if you're here illegally, you are committing a crime. Whether it's administrative or not, you are committing a crime. And if you've been deported before or you've been removed and you're here again, that's actually a felony under 8 U.S.C. 1326. Feel free to look it up. So the premise today is ICE did nothing wrong, right? And obviously, from what I explained before, with all the issues that we've had with immigration, this is where we are now, and we're enforcing the law, and all these blue cities are losing their mind. And just so you guys know, these blue cities are a part of the problem. These sanctuary cities. These sanctuary cities
Damn
are
right.
basically allowed for these aliens to have sanctuary, no pun intended, and not have to deal with the consequences of coming to the United States illegally, overstaying their visa,
Sanctuary, no pun intended. Could that have been a an indication of maybe the security detail? Maybe.
document benefit fraud, etc. So that's where we are. We are actually allowing law enforcement to do their jobs, and people are getting pissed off about it because no other president has had the balls to actually conduct interior immigration enforcement.
That's right.
It's all easy to do border enforcement, but it's much harder to do it once it's in the interior. This is why you guys are seeing Border Patrol agents all over the United States in interior cities where they
There you
typically and
go.
traditionally would not have authority, because since we've been able to close down the border, now they're focusing on the illegal aliens that are in. And whether you like Donald Trump or not, one thing you can say is that he's absolutely handled this immigration problem. And actually, immigration was the second most important issue as to why I voted. You guys know me. I'm hardcore anti-war. I don't want a war with Iran. The Israelis control America. They have way too much influence. As a matter of fact, interesting news, the Israelis already broke the ceasefire. Who saw that coming, right? So that's where we stand. But yeah, guys, I see some of you guys here. If any of you guys want to come on up to the mic, if you agree, disagree.
There it is. See, he's already reading the room. He's looking at people, giving him the side eye and this and that and the other. Man, if you're feeling froggy,
You want to have a conversation
let's
about
go.
it, let me know. Don't be scared. I promise I won't make fun of you. But yeah, Mike could come up. Yeah. What's up, man? Yo.
Grab the mic, or do I just hold it up to my?
Yeah, there you go.
Okay. Yeah, so I'm just going to be fully transparent. I fully agree with you. I totally agree with what ICE is doing. But I do have a question related to Charlie Kirk, if that's okay.
Sure.
There's sort of a preamble, because I do have a channel on YouTube. It's mainly related to movie reviews and stuff. But Charlie Kirk's assassination really affected me in a very profound and deep way, because on this campus, I used to be a part of a lot of conservative groups, including Turning Point USA. And
Oh, wow.
they held events here. Charlie Kirk was here. So the fact that he was assassinated on a college campus, really shows that how it could really happen anywhere, at least to me. But people in my sphere of movie reviewers, I saw a lot of large personalities saying that he deserved it, and that frankly horrified me. And some would even post videos saying using malicious out of context clips that you're probably aware of. They would say he encouraged an attack on Paul Pelosi, when if you look at the full context, he was making he was making a comment on how horrific our bail reform laws are, where if you're a violent criminal, you can be out with on no cash bail and reoffend. But if you're a rich politician like the Pelosi's, you get a pat. They're not given that luxury, and they're just held indefinitely. And another one would be would be when people said that he said an anti-Chinese slur when he was talking to Cenk Uygur of the Young Turks. Pretty stupid. But I would like to point out hey, there's more to this. There's a lot of disinformation being spread around it, and they would say that
there's
I'm
context.
an apologist for racism, anti-Semitism, Islamophobia, transphobia, etc. And they wouldn't say that he outright deserved to be assassinated, but they said that he kind of got what was coming by doing what he was doing. And I'm just wondering how much of this is genuinely from their how much of this is genuinely their opinion or what they're being told, because
There you go. And guys, I say this all the time. You can tell that when people are talking to you in these debates, you can tell what thoughts are coming from their own mind or if they're parroting. That's what this guy's talking about.
a lot of their opinions come from Hollywood, right? So to what degree is Hollywood radicalizing a lot of people to think like that, to look at half the country as Nazis, or to essentially radicalize them? And and what would you say are the worst lessons they're being that's being fed to the masses, and what sort of messaging you would use or say to counter signal that sort of messaging?
Yeah, so the problem is this, right? So this is what progressives, liberals, whatever they want to call themselves, I call them retards, but what they basically do is they need to dehumanize your position first, so that they can go ahead and either A, enact violence on you without feeling bad, or because they look at you as subhuman, or B, to say, we don't even want to talk to you because...
Jimmy... Oh, Teoscar Hernandez just went deep. Jimmy Gatillo 691 says... Yeah, sorry, bro. Sorry, dude. I don't speak nigga. I don't speak Ebonics. So you're gonna have to come again.
As you're a Nazi or whatever. So here's the thing with the left. It's actually like a deflection tactic. They know that they can't actually sit down and debate a conservative most of the time, right? Are we right about everything? No. but we're right about a lot more things than they are because we tend to be on the side of reality, right? There's two genders. You can't go sit here and take a boy and turn him into a girl. It just doesn't work that way, right?
No. No, this is the thing. I totally agree with Myron. Okay, I totally agree with Myron here. In this regard, there are more than two genders, guys. There are more than two genders. There are 115 genders. There are only two sexes. You see, sex is biological. Gender is the social construct. And this is what the left has done. They have turned the word sex as it relates to your biological parts, and they've turned that word into gender so that they can then say, okay, well, what's your gender? I don't have a gender. I have a sex, and my sex is male. Okay? Gender is a social construct. Your sex is a biological reality. And you want to know something? Here's what I say. You want to know what your sex is, or you want to know what your gender is? Your gender is whatever archaeologists decide you are when they come up and dig up your bones 500 years from now. That's your gender.
Blacks commit a disproportionate amount of crime. Jews have too much power. Women are stupid. So they get pissed off when you say this stuff, and they don't want to necessarily have a conversation because what you end up doing is you destroy their fake world.
Yeah, Jimmy Gatillo, if you'd like to pull up and have a discussion, I am more than willing to do that.
Reality when you're discussing these topics, especially if you do it in a manner that...
And by the way, guys, I'm going to open up the pull-up line, but this is not for people who agree. It is for people who disagree. Okay? I'm not opening up the pull-up line for people who agree. Okay? I'm opening up for people who disagree. Just keep that in mind.
It's candid and frank. So instead of actually debating and having their worldview destroyed by reality, they have to label you a Nazi or some other pejorative term, right? So that they can justify in their head that you're not worthy of debating, right? And this is what they do. And in some extreme cases, they think, oh, violence is totally condoned against these people because they're not human. So that's the ideology that they operate in. Because, and I know a lot of people hate Destiny, but one thing I will give him credit for is that he'll sit and debate conservatives. Most of these guys on the left don't. All the biggest left-wing political commentators and progressives, they don't do debates. They just sit in their room, analyze the news.
Well, to be fair, Destiny doesn't debate. All that dude does is argue and filibuster. But I digress.
Have Trump derangement syndrome, come say conservatives are suck, or right-wingers are, bigots or whatever, and that's it. They don't want to sit across the table and actually debate us most of the time. So, So if we're going to go ahead and fix this problem, I think coming over to the college campuses and talking with the new America, because all these people are here at the school, this is the future of the United States. And the problem with these universities is we have way too much woke indoctrination, right? And I can say this as someone that went to a prestigious school in the Northeast, Northeastern, 6% acceptance rates, whatever, which is super woke in Boston, Massachusetts. I see the problem getting worse. And this is back when I graduated in 2013. So I think we need to really, and this is why what Charlie was doing was so great, because he was coming into these college campuses and having these discussions and kind of waking up students as to how the world really works. Because when you're here in a college campus, you're a student, and I was a student athlete, I lived on campus, I had the whole experience. You don't live in the real world. You're not paying taxes. You don't got to watch your cell phone when you're on the train around blacks.
Dude, real talk, dude. This is the thing about college is that when you are a college student, you get all the freedoms of an adult, but you have the responsibility of a child, right? You have all the listen, you can go out, you can actually get a job. You can work, you can have a girlfriend, you can stay out as much as you can literally function as an adult who just happens to go to school. But you still have that childlike globe around you. You're still protected from the world by the campus.
You don't got to, do any of this stuff. You're in a very safe and secure campus, and you don't have to deal with a lot of problems real world problems that people do. So that's where I think the left falters. They're just not realistic, and they're not relatable to a lot of people, right? Especially to men. Kamala Harris wrote in her book that me and Andrew Tate hurt her election, her presidential campaign.
And they did. Don DeMarco to Andrew and Myron.
Election. But the reality is that she said we took all the young men because we were misogynistic or whatever. What she doesn't understand is that she never had the young men. The left does not identify with young men. Like everything that men do, especially white men, is considered evil, bad, bigoted, racist, Nazi, blah, blah. So, the Democrats lost on their own, and that's their fault. But yeah, that's what I would say just to kind of sum up the problems that we have on the left and how we've gotten here.
All right, well, thank you.
No worries, man. Thank you. I hope that answers the question. Anybody else want to come on up? Say what's up. Agree, disagree. ICE did nothing wrong. Jews control America. Blacks commit crimes.
Men are better than women.
Women, for the most part, are stupid.
2-1 Dodgers.
Need to put him back in the kitchen.
I love how he throws that. I love how he throws that bait out
disagree.
there.
If you agree, you can come up and say why you agree. Someone was antagonizing you guys.
Yeah, Don Westmoreland says, we said the Pledge of Allegiance at the beginning of the day when I was in school. Yeah, dude. I think from the time I was in kindergarten all the way up until I was maybe a 7th grader, yeah, we said the Pledge of Allegiance. We said the Pledge of Allegiance to the flag. How many people, this is an interesting question. How many Americans actually know the Pledge of Allegiance to the flag?
Really, right? Yeah. Hey, Mr. Bandana, come on up to the mic, man. I know that you're not too happy that we're here. We can have a respectful discussion.
Yeah, see, there it is. Yeah. Somebody out there being demonstrative and talking shit and da-da-da-da-da. I like that Myron is calling these guys out. Yeah, Mr. Bandana, come on. Come on. Let's go. Yeah. Let's see how tough you are now that someone's called you out.
Dude, I don't bite. We can have a legit conversation. I think this is the important thing is having two different ideologies, being discussed, and then the people can decide what they want. But that's the only way that we get to the truth.
There's Mr. Bandana. There's Mr. Bandana. Timu Jason Lee over here thinks he's tough, thinks he's cool, with his hands in his pocket, talking shit, with his handlebar with his handlebar mustache and his bandana like he's a biker. Yeah, Myron Gaines, blah 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 blah. Come on up, bro.
I can yap about it all. What? There's no debate about it. Why not,
bro? Come to the mic. See this? Yeah. Nah. Come to the mic, bro.
Okay, come say that on the mic so they can all.
Bro, come to the mic. Yeah, look at him. Look, dude. Cowards. These people are cowards. They don't want to debate. They don't want to debate. They just want to stand on the sidelines and talk shit and get some camera time. Go on, bro. You wanted the attention. You got it. Let's go.
Hear you. Bro, I literally did I not just say 10 minutes ago that liberals don't like to debate? Did I not?
There it is.
This is being heard literally right now.
There it is. There it is. Liberals don't like to debate. You want to know why? Because liberals are fucking cowards. Wow, listen to me.
Dude, we're live right now. There's no clip farming. This is streamed. This is live. So nothing is clip farmed. You're literally going to be live. We can't, the footage is
Look at this dude.
Man.
Look at this dude.
Well, that kind of my point. I told you guys the left doesn't like to debate, bro.
There it is. Yeah, there it is. Yeah. Hang your head in shame there, bro. Hang your head in shame there, Mr. Tough Guy. There you go. Look at him. He ain't doing shit.
You want to, dude?
Bro, come to the mic, man.
Just come to the mic because they can't hear you. You said I'll debate you after the wars. What? We're not gonna bring the mic to you, dude. It's right there.
He's scared.
Yeah,
He's scared.
Okay, come to the mic so they can hear you. You're H2A visa workers. Come.
Bro. Yeah.
They can't hear you. No, they can't hear you. Okay, this guy.
I'm having a hard time hearing you.
Yeah. He doesn't care about they anymore. Aren't you supposed to like they them? I'm confused.
May I translate?
Oh,
yeah, sure,
you got him now.
Go ahead.
He's your mouthpiece now. Go ahead. Someone has balls.
Look at him. Somebody already made a fool out of themselves.
You getting that, Myron?
He's like, I'll translate for you, Myron. There we go. These people are based.
I don't know.
Finished?
That's it.
You done?
The only reason, so for the audience that's listening in right now, watching, he was harassing the guys here as they were setting up. So I'm like, look, dude, if you were definitely harassing one of my guys, which is fine. I don't have there's nothing wrong with disagreeing with people. Let me make this very clear. You have your worldviews, that's fine. I respect your worldviews, and I think that, and I would fight actually to have your worldviews defended, whether I agree with them or not. That's what makes this country great. So,
nah,
okay,
bro,
on the mic,
come to the mic. Come to the mic. Yeah, it's always somebody like this.
No, actually, hold on. You know what's funny? He's talking about Mahmoud Khalil. For those of you that are wondering, it's funny that you said that. You must. Yep. Okay.
Bro, see, again, he's proving Myron's point. This guy doesn't want to debate. He doesn't want to debate, and he doesn't want to come to the mic because he's afraid. He doesn't want everyone to hear what he's saying because he doesn't want Myron to disprove his points. Come on, man.
Emotional. Okay, so let me actually address. Do you watch my content, bro? Probably not, right? That's fine. You probably don't. Okay, you've seen some clips.
Yeah, you've seen clip farms. Yeah, there you go.
So it's funny you mentioned Mahmoud Khalil. So let me. Here's the thing with Mahmoud Khalil. I actually don't like that they did that. I actually took his side. I actually said that getting deported or getting put in ICE custody for making comments and being critical of Israel is a big problem. I defend the First Amendment even if I disagree with the individual. So yeah, you're wrong on that take, bro. Because I literally have been one of the biggest advocates for him not getting deported because I think anti-Semitism laws are a big problem. And this is what I mean when I say Jews control America. No other group of people would be able to get someone deported, right, for speech, political speech, besides the Zionist lobby and the Jews. But look, now he's gonna walk away.
Yep, there it is. Of course. Of course he's going to walk away. There it is. Of course he's going to walk away. There it is. Of course. There you go.
I'm not clip farming, bro. You're the one embarrassing yourself by not wanting to get on the mic. Okay, this is coward. All right, that's fine. That's fine, bro. It's fine. You were wrong on the Mahmoud Khalil position. You're scared to come up on the mic. You can antagonize my guys behind the scenes, but once the cameras are on and you can actually have your ideology pushed out, you don't want to do it. And that's the problem with the left.
Yep.
You guys
coward.
really just chirp from the background, don't have real discussions, can't defend your belief systems. I'm not even talking to you anymore. I'm just talking about leftists in general. I'm talking to leftists in general. So, yeah. Okay, so.
Yeah, somebody get him out of here. Get him out of here.
Get out. Okay, nobody's talking to you. No one's debating you. Leave.
You're a fucking retard. That's what I got to say. You're a fucking retard. I don't know who the fuck you think you're talking to, buddy, but you're a fucking retard. Okay? This is the problem with America right here. Fucking pussies like this guy, right? That quite literally can't stand on their beliefs, can talk all the shit from the side, but they're fucking cowards.
Yeah, Legend says he's like the cowardly trolls in your chat and refuses to pull up in real time. Exactly. It's almost like the opposite. I get cowards who are willing to pull up but don't want to be on camera. This guy is on camera but doesn't want to step to the mic. They never want to go all in. Okay? If you've got their face, you don't get their voice. If you've got their voice, you don't get their face. Typical.
You can't actually defend their belief system within the crucible of debate.
Of course not.
You've been acting like a woman the whole fucking time, getting emotional, raising your voice, being rude and disrespectful, not defending your ideology. You're a typical retarded leftist. This is why they call them libtards. And the reality is we got to call you fucking dumbasses out. I'm not the guy, buddy. Okay? I can practice decorum and everything else like that, but when I see retards, mouth-breathing fucking morons like you got to call it out. Window-licking fucking retards.
There it is. Good.
No, we got to call it what it is. We got to call it what it is. You're a coward and a window-licking retard. So it is what it is. Anyway, anyone else want to come up on the mic? We can discuss retards, how we got to put them back in asylums. We can discuss why women are inferior to men. We can discuss how Jews control America, how blacks commit too much crime, how ISIS did nothing wrong.
Oh, my God.
If you agree, disagree, don't be scared to come up on the mic. Even if you agree, you can come on up and give us your take. They don't want to get called a retard. Oh, there you go. Hi.
Hi.
How are you?
Hello, I'm good. How are you?
Oh, my God. As soon as they come up with a phone, you already know it's about to be some bullshit.
I'm good. What's
I
your
might
name?
not stay for long. My name's Ashton.
Nice to meet you, Ashley. How are you?
I'm good.
I may not stay for long. My name is Ashton. Oh, boy.
Thanks. I was just wondering, I heard you say women are inferior to men.
Yes.
I've never heard that take before, so I wanted to know why you would say that.
Sure. When I say that women are inferior to men, what I mean by that is that we're superior. And what I mean by that is that the world and everything that we've come to pretty much learn to love and enjoy was created by men. Women don't really provide the same level of structure and innovation that men do. 90% plus of inventions that we've been able to, modernize the world with were created by men. Men lead, women follow. Now, this isn't to say that men have this isn't to say that men have more value, like more life value. Obviously, we're all human, we're all equal in that regard, right? When it comes to dignity and humanity, etc. But when it comes to the responsibilities of a society, being the leaders, being the protectors, men are superior in that regard, and the things that matter. And I take it a step further. I think the reason why we need to be superior is because women are subordinates to us, and we are responsible for protecting them, right? I don't think women should work. I don't think they should be focusing on, getting an education, getting a career. Though I do understand we're in modern times and inflation and stuff. I don't have a problem with a woman pursuing school and a career, but that should take a back seat to finding a man and creating a family, and then leaving the workforce as soon as you're able to do so.
Sure. Okay, but the word superior is implying better than, right? You say that men don't have more value, but you are better than women because
that's a fact.
you lead things.
Yes, we're physically superior. Most geniuses are men. Most inventors are men. Men are just better than women at almost everything.
That is not true. That's how society was set up over a long period.
Okay, what are women better at men then?
Gotcha.
Emotional intelligence.
Define emotional intelligence.
Understanding other people's emotions, being emotionally aware, providing with support. And this is proven. I've taken leadership classes about effective leadership, and women are more effective leaders when it comes to emotional needs. Men are better at meeting logistical needs, and that's why we need both and women.
Yeah, JB, if you're only pulling up to agree, I've got to decline. I only want people to pull up if they disagree.
To succeed.
Okay, so then
That is true.
why isn't the world female run then, if that's the case?
Yes, if females were so much better, then why haven't they just taken over?
Because men typically meet those leadership needs, which is why.
Because we're better leaders.
Maybe so, but that doesn't mean you're superior.
Yes, it does.
By definition, you're superior. If we are better leaders, we're
superior
superior.
at keeping the human race going. Women who give birth. We're much superior.
Yes, but you need a man's sperm to give birth, sweet cheeks.
Superior at.
Well, you need a man to do that.
Right.
So that's not women by themselves. You need a man to have a kid.
Absolutely, you do. But
Yeah.
There
women
it
are the
is.
reason why children exist. Without
Yes, and so are men, because without men, children don't exist.
women giving birth, children would not exist.
Well, you need sperm to do it. It's a two-part thing. It's not something that's exclusive only to women. You need a man to do it. But there's many things men can do that women simply can't.
And there's things women can do that men
Yeah,
can't
have kids,
do.
but you
Like
literally
what?
need a man to do that too.
There you go.
Right,
so
but
what
you
can
need
you?
both.
So there it is. So what can you do that men can't?
To
Superior.
succeed.
Was
Yeah,
that?
and women are superior in so many other ways, as I
Like
just
what?
said.
Emotional intelligence?
Okay, like
Yes,
what?
It's true. It is literally proven. I wish I could tell you the study off the top of my head, but I just.
Of course you can. Of course you can. All right, I'm gonna add you to the stage. JB3, you with me? Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I got you. What's on your mind, man?
So, this kind of been on my mind for a little bit, but since you have Myron's ear, I thought it'd be interesting for one of his shows. So I know that he brings on a lot of OnlyFans women, and kind of like talks to them on, why they do what they do and, tries to get through to them. Why doesn't he bring people, like young men who subscribe to them and try to like put them back on the right path? I think that'd be a really good show.
Yeah, here let me stop you right there, JB3. Do you watch Fresh and Fit other than After Hours?
Sometimes I catch them live.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, there you go. Money Mondays. Okay, Money Mondays is probably one of the best educational podcasts. It is literally centered around and designed to help young men save their invest to wealth. They help them out on crypto, real estate, being financially frugal, being financially literate, et cetera, et cetera. Womanizer Wednesdays is specifically designed to help young men navigate today's dating market. The reason why you think that all he does is bring on OnlyFans models, and by the way, he doesn't just bring on OnlyFans models. Myron has interviewed over 4,000 girls, and I think something like, I don't know, 35% of them are OnlyFans girls, at least 35% that have admitted. Obviously, that probably puts the percentage around 40% of those who admit it, and they end up finding out anyway. But most of the women they bring on are not OnlyFans models. And the reason why he brings on and he's had women of all ages, races, sexes, different walks of life. And to a woman, most of them think the same way. And interestingly enough, the only women who really seem to have the most sense are the older women because they have lived that life. So for you to say, well, why doesn't he help young men? He literally, you should see this man's inbox. So for you to tell me, well, why doesn't he help young men? This is what this man does literally. Well, not literally. He does this most shows. Most of his shows are designed to help young men. The ones that you see are Fresh and Fit After Hours.
Right. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, but that's all I really wanted to say. But I'm gonna have to catch one of his Monday shows.
Yeah, I would highly,
Mondays.
Yeah, I would highly suggest it because it's actually very, very, very good material. It really, really is. Thanks for coming up, man. Appreciate it. All right, let's continue.
The class on this, and it is proven. That's true.
Being able to be more emotional, when you're getting your cramps during your period, doesn't mean that you're superior. I would argue that's
insulting and is not what I'm saying. Emotional intelligence. I mean, if you are someone's manager, you can understand where they are coming.
Emotional intelligence is. What's the word I'm looking for? Oh my God, I'm drawing a blank. Emotional intelligence is so vague and it's so subjective that emotional intelligence can be literally whatever the girl says she wants it to be. But all she has mentioned is emotional intelligence. Never forget, she said, well, women are so much better at so many things. Okay, you have emotional intelligence. Let's just say for the sake of argument, she's right, even though she's not. What else you got?
Coming from to better meet their needs, to come to a solution of
So why is it that most women prefer male bosses then?
I would disagree with that.
Most women, when polled, prefer male bosses.
Well, because maybe men are natural leaders, which is okay.
There you go, which is why we're superior.
And I'm not debating that men are natural leaders, but that does not make you superior.
Yes, it does.
There's no correlation there.
By using the word better,
there is.
You're implying superiority.
Leader is one thing in life. How many things can
We're
you be
better than
in
you guys
life?
at everything.
How many things are there to be
We're
good
better than you
at
guys
in
at
life?
sports. We're better cooks. We're better cleaners.
Yep.
Even men run a
Better, not
sanitation.
better cooks, better cleaners.
The best chefs are
Yes.
men.
You're just,
Yes.
The only thing women can really do that's better is maybe make a sandwich. But if we got like a top chef to do it, he would still probably win. And we're gonna be honest,
People are individuals.
What was
People are individual people.
Of course, but I'm speaking in general.
I might be a better cook than you.
Well, that's your job.
You just said men are better cooks.
Well, yeah, at the pinnacle, male chefs.
You can't even
at the
keep your
pinnacle,
facts
male
straight.
chefs.
Look, yeah.
At the pinnacle, okay, of chefs.
Oh, here
they're
she
all
goes.
male-dominated.
She thinks she got him. You can't even get your facts straight. Look. Oh, sweetie, that was weak.
Okay.
And I think like women should be cooking, so it's not really like my job. But even when men go into a field that is female dominated, we're better.
Yep.
That's not true.
Just
I'm not going to
demonstrate it.
entertain this anymore, but...
Of course you're not going to entertain this. There it is. I might not be here for long as what she said because she knew she had no chance. I'm not going to entertain this. Translation, I have no argument. That's it.
That's not true. I feel bad for you.
You feel
Have
bad?
a good
You couldn't
one.
refute anything I said. Yeah, that's pretty much, that's feminism for you guys.
And thank you for getting up to the mic for our...
Yeah. No, good sport. I know she was nervous. Thanks for coming on. What's up?
I watch a lot of your stuff on YouTube.
Yeah.
Very entertaining.
I appreciate
Very
that, man. Thank you.
entertaining. All of what you've done with Sneeko and
Yeah.
Circa. And the biggest thing that you do is you get people to think differently, which
Absolutely.
is something
Appreciate
that
that.
everyone can have admiration for. What are your thoughts on the T-app? This is something that's come out
T-app.
recently.
Oh, yes, the one that was, like,
it's
exposing
anonymous,
guys.
exposing. There's women in the T-app now, like a women's version now. I'm curious to think what you have to say.
Yeah, no, I mean, the T-app demonstrates the insane double standard we have in society where women are able to objectify men with no consequence. Meanwhile, men are not able to objectify women, right? Or
Yep, there
especially
you
when
go.
women objectify themselves, if we're going to be honest. These girls dress like sluts, then expect you to, respect
Treat
them.
him like a lady. Yeah.
There's a male version now for women.
For women?
So it's a two-sided thing.
Yeah, it's when
Yeah, not anymore. They already shut that down. Praetorian Guard with the $2 super chats makes me want to say, Devon, get that table, dude. For my money, and I don't want to get off into the weeds here, and I know that we probably will. For my money, the greatest tag team of all time, the Dudley Boys.
And it didn't.
It's been recent.
Bubba Ray and Devon.
This is all recent within the last year.
The thing is that because there's many different reiterations of this. Like Facebook came out with it before, where it was like, oh, are we dating the same guy, etc. Like, so the reality is that women are able to criticize, compartmentalize, and attack men with very little, consequence. But like for men, like you can definitely get fired from your job, get in trouble, whatever it may be. Like it's okay to punch up on men like a piñata. But it's not okay to do it on women. As a matter of fact, this is why so many women are delusional, is because they never get criticized, right?
Good for you, said you called it. Listen, man, I have so much. Listen, you already know. listen, man, I've listened to liberals and women for so long. You can almost tell the audience what they're going to say before they say it. I'm not going to be here for long. I already knew she was going to be on some bullshit because that's what she said. She had her phone. Well, I disagree, so I must win the debate. I feel bad for you, sweetie. That was piss poor. You got to come stronger than that.
So, and that's another thing too. I think is that I think women live life on easy mode, especially in 2025. They have more advantages. They have more opportunities than men do by far. Okay, all right. I guess. Anybody else want to come up to mic? If you guys.
Ooh, Max says the Heart Foundation. Yep.
Disagree. Want to make a point?
Rest in peace, Owen Hart.
Talk. The topics are: we could go anywhere. ICE did nothing wrong. Women are dumb. Jews control America. And that's not good. Muslims are terrorists. I don't know.
What do you think as far as like building a brand, a self-brand? Do you think it's really important for young people to get into that? You've obviously done that, and all these people in your relationship group have done that. What would you say is the biggest thing you notice about like people like all these influential people, Zerka, Andrew Tate, Sneeko, the people that you're around? What's a similar trait that you notice about all of them?
We all work hard.
The number one thing is authenticity. Authenticity. If you're authentic, what's going to end up happening is a lot of people are going to be able to relate to you. If a lot of people can relate to you, they're going to trust you. If they're going to trust you, they're going to like you. Then if they like you, then they're going to want to watch you. So this is why, like, I call a spade a spade. Whether it's I use slurs, right? It is what it is. We all know what words I'm talking about. We're on YouTube, so I'm trying to keep it somewhat clean. But yeah, like that is the number one thing is authenticity, especially in today's day and age where so many people are fake. So that's the number one thing. And this is why guys like me and Andrew Tate, Nick Fuentes, Sneeko, all my buddies, that's why we've all been able to be fairly successful. Now, with that said, it goes to a level because you can't become like an A-list type celebrity or be like super huge while being base. It just can't happen. You'll get clipped. You'll get banned, right? Because Andrew Tate took over in 2022. What they do? They banned him everywhere, right? Yep. So, which by the way, I know you guys have been asking me. Andrew's going to be in America soon. He'll come on the show. Don't worry.
Oh, my God. God. Mr. Bandana's back. Yeah, here we go.
I hope that answers your question. But authenticity, brother, is the main thing.
Yeah. I have a disagreement now.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. Sorry. Yeah, there we go. So I trust you heard about the firing of Kingman Lee, the conservative commentator on Twitter, over his posts.
What was that?
You know who Kingman Lee is, right?
Bruce X. Lee, member for 19 months. Very nice. Don Westmoreland says, why do so many of these young people need glasses? They don't. They're called problem glasses.
The South Korean conservative commentator.
No.
Okay. So he's a guy who worked on a college campus. Oh, sorry. He's a guy who worked on a college campus but was fired for his posts, some of which were pretty funny. He said fat people shouldn't exist, and they said that was like a culture genocide or some shit.
Oh, no. Oh, no. You can't be calling for mass genocide, man. Like, you can't do that. And it's you should never, ever endorse mass genocide, especially with people who are prone to self-harm. For example, there are a lot of racist white people, KKK, we need a mass genocide of all niggers. Nope, that's not necessary. Because A, if a civil war erupts, that might not be the case. But number two, I mean, if you're talking about N-words, they're going to wipe themselves out anyway, right? And in terms of mass genocide of all fat people, that's irresponsible because how many old fat people do you know? You ever watch that show, My 600-Pound Life? Not too many people over the age of 50 on that show. These people are in their 20s, 30s, maybe 40s, late 40s if they're lucky. Not a lot of 53-year-olds, if any, on My 600-Pound Life, right? So, yeah, okay, fat people, blah, 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 blah. Fat people, like N-words, they're going to rub themselves out if they continue to go down that path.
But other posts were like about how we should repeal the 19th Amendment. I don't think he should have been fired, but that's not something I personally agree with. But
I think we should repeal the 19th. I don't think women should have the right to vote. I agree.
No, I agree.
Why? Okay,
I agree.
So my position on the 19th.
Look, man, I agree that the 19th Amendment should be repealed, but I don't think it ever will. That's the cow's out of the barn, the toothpaste is out of the tube, the cat's out of the bag.
The amendment, which is the right to vote for women. Basically, the reason why I say I think we should repeal is because, well, number one, women are single issue voters, right? They don't. Yep. They vote typically for whoever's going to let them be a whore and kill babies. Typically, is what they do, which tends to be Democrats. Number two, women have no skin in the game. I find it absolutely preposterous that women are able to vote for the commander in chief who runs the military, who can send us to wars, but they have no skin in the game and don't have to go to war because men have to be in the selective service. A bunch of students here probably got loans or financial aid or whatever. That financial aid was contingent upon you guys being in a selective service. I'm sure, especially if you're a U.S. citizen, right? See a couple guys nodding along. So I find it preposterous that women are able to vote without having skin in the game. Right now, we could take it a step further, right? We could say, well, a lot of guys are stupid too and they shouldn't vote, which I would actually agree to that. Maybe we can impart like a civics exam or something like that before people vote. But I think
that's actually a good idea. I actually like the civics exam for you to have the right to vote. I like that.
With women, it just doesn't make sense, and they don't have skin in the game. Now, if she joins the military, gets some kind of government service or whatever it may be, then we could talk about that. But I'm a firm believer that if you don't have skin in the game, you shouldn't have a seat at the table.
Yeah. Well, if the state is going to impose force on citizens, no matter who they are, through taxes and threatening force if they don't pay the taxes, wouldn't you say that women, along with everyone else, has a skin in the game?
Yeah, you can make that argument, but they don't have the same skin in the game as we do. They might pay taxes and stuff, but they don't have the inherent skin in the game when it comes to serving in the military, which is what the president is.
Okay.
Right? The most important, political figure in the country.
Right. Well, are there any other ways that they could have a skin in the game without necessarily serving combat, like serving as nurses or stuff like that?
Listen, if they serve in the military, no matter what their job is, yes, give them the right to vote. Even if they're sweeping the floors, even if they're cooking, even if they're the receptionist, you're serving in the military.
If they join the military, number one, I think it should be one standard. I don't think we should water down standards so women can get in, because I think this whole woke ideology of let's focus on inclusivity versus performance, I think that's a very bad mantra. And whether people want to accept it or not, I think China's one of the biggest. Well, the biggest threat to America is Israel. But once we handle the Israeli problem, oh god. Once we handle the Jewish/Zionist problem, then we could go ahead and focus on China, because I think China is rapidly.
Optimistic Realizer on the Rumble site says it's really cool to see a lot of young men at Penn State University that agree with Myron. Yeah, exactly.
Expanding to a significant degree. Meanwhile, we're over here fighting wars in the Middle East for Israel, right? Which is a big problem. We've been not focusing on the Far East, where we should be putting our resources. So.
You say that we should be more like China. Well, I'm pretty uneducated.
Well, no, not be more like, but like combat them.
Oh, okay.
They're growing influence and power.
Okay, well, do you think that's in part with how they treat women? Do you think they treat them like better or lesser than they do here? Like, not in terms of how do you say, like humane in a humane way, but just like an ethical way, like in terms of the country stand.
Yeah, Phoenix Light Games is in the house. He says what Myron just said is exactly what separates people who watch Pearl or Lauren Chen. Pearl is authentic and doesn't have to lie to her audience. Unlike Lauren, women hate Pearl because she's honest. They can't be. Absolutely.
Well, they're not as poisoned. I mean, feminism is seeping everywhere, but they're not as poisoned by feminism as we are here, which I would argue feminism is the root cause of almost every problem in every society.
Yep.
Right?
That's right.
Because what's up happening is so feminism used to be about equality between the genders, but now what's become is a superiority between the genders in favor of women. But the problem is that we're giving women the favor when women aren't better than men at anything.
Okay. And here's the thing. Women, today's feminists, they don't want equal opportunities. They want equal outcomes. That's what their real problem is. We want opportunities. Women have more opportunities in this country than men do, yet men still outperform them. So women are just mad that they can't outperform men, and then they blame the men for that. Men are better than us at everything. It's your fault. What are we supposed to do? Dumb ourselves down? Lower our power level? Nope. Not happening.
Right? So it's like, the analogy I'll use is like, let's say you have like a kid or whatever, right? My buddy Elijah always says this. Elijah Shaper, shout out to you, man. If you have like a kid, right, and they make like this painting with their fingers, right, and it looks like crap, but they give it to you, and you're like, oh my God, this is so great. That's kind of how it is with women. Oh, it's so great that you're getting education and stuff, but, do we really need someone else that has a liberal studies degree? Like, does it matter? Like, what is this? Or underwater basket weaving. Doesn't make sense. So that's kind of how I view
underwater basket weaving.
Women in the workforce.
Dude, I've been using underwater basket weaving since I was in my 20s,
else like that.
man.
But feminism tells us to like encourage that. Like, yeah, like totally make that finger paint picture, and let's go ahead and say it's awesome and it's Picasso, even though it sucks.
One last question. In China, they have like a quote unquote freer market as long as it benefits the state, right? And if it goes against the state, like whatever private company operating in China does, then the Chinese government immediately liquidates all of their assets.
Yeah,
right?
that's a problem.
Yeah. But
that's why capitalism is so great.
Yeah. But would you say that like feminism in China kind of works in a similar way, where the female empowerment is meant to go towards the state and not towards the individual? And would you say that's like more of what feminism is here in the United States?
Darkside 5150 has gifted one Donovan Sharp membership at Joel Evangelista, aka Ice Dragon Kid, to welcome them to the TSR family. I normally do the graphic with the shout out, but I'll just go ahead and just request that you guys go ahead and do a chat-wide age and location check. Let's get it.
Great point. Yeah, that's a communitarian type style, right? Which I don't think works for the most part. I think that's like, if you want to be able to make money, that's why people love America so much and come here, even though we have all the problems that we have. People come here because of the financial opportunity in the capitalistic society that we
Jose says this guy looks like Frail Devil. Okay, even if that were the case, if that's what you think he looks like, okay, that's fine. What's your disagreement? Is he lying? See, again, this is what ignorant people do. When they don't have an argument against someone, they point out something. He looks like a Frail Devil. Okay, so you don't like Myron Gaines. Fine. Get in line. Join the club. What is he saying that you disagree with?
Yeah, where if you're willing to work hard, you can get ahead.
And oh, by the way, if you have a disagreement, go ahead and pull up. You don't even have to show your face, Jose.
Here, right? There's no excuse to not be successful in America. And other countries, unfortunately, don't have that. But yes, that style of governance is, whether it's Marxism, socialism to a degree, communism, tends to lean more on how women operate. Because one thing I've noticed about women, one of the biggest differences after talking to 3,000 to 4,000 different girls on my show is women have a difficulty with understanding hierarchy, right? Mm-hmm. So with men, right? If a guy does it, the best guy, okay, you did the best today, you get $10. You did the second best, you get $8. You did the third, you get $7. With women, it's like you get $1, you get $1, you get $1, you get $1, regardless of performance. And I think that creates inherent problems as well. But this is because hierarchy is not really a structure for women. Because like for us, right? I'll explain what I mean by this. For men to get laid and get sexual access, we must rise up to the occasion, right? We're on a college campus right here, right? Who gets laid the most? The athletes,
girls,
the frat guys,
yes.
why? Because they have status and they're on a hierarchy level. So a regular girl that no one knows, has no friends, can go to a college party here, meet one of the top athletes at one of these parties, one of the top frat guys, and get smashed because her hierarchy.
Well, certainly not lately, as Drew Aller is out for the season, and James Franklin has been unceremoniously dismissed to the tune of $56 million. But that's neither here nor there.
Hierarchy doesn't matter.
That's just me showing off my sports knowledge.
To the male, to the male. But the male's hierarchy absolutely matters to her. So this is why women don't have a fundamental understanding of hierarchy, because it's not required for them to procreate like it is for us. So we inherently know, you walk into a room with a bunch of guys, if there's a multimillionaire in there or a guy that has some type of status, all the guys naturally respect that guy and defer to his authority to a degree. Women don't operate that way. When they
Jose, I'm a shoot first, ask questions later. Jose says it was a joke calling the guy on the mic a daredevil. I'm not talking about Myron Don. Oops. Let me a grenade. Yep, that was on me. Listen, man, I get it wrong a lot. I've been at this for a while. I have what do I call it? PTSD, post-traumatic troll disorder, something like that.
Walk into a room, it's kind of like everyone's equal, yeah,
My bad, Jose.
Unless like one girl's fat or whatever, that's a whole other conversation. They don't understand hierarchy when it comes to competence. It's very difficult for them to understand it because they don't have their ability to procreate is not contingent upon their position within the hierarchy versus ours is. So we have to be cognizant of it at all times.
There you go.
For answering my question.
No worries, man. I hope that answered. Anybody else want to come on up? Oh, Mr. Lib is still there. Yeah, what's up, brother? Love the flag.
Thank you.
America only, my friends.
Yes, sir. So I got one question and then I got to go.
Sure, absolutely.
But
and thank you for your service.
thank you. What is your take on the rape allegations against Andrew Tate?
Bullshit. Complete bullshit.
Yep.
And I can say that with
100% bullshit.
Confidence. So back in 2022 late 2022, I spent a month at their house in Romania. They opened their home up to me and I hung out with them. And when these allegations came out of them human trafficking or holding women against their will, it was comical because I remember when I would go out with them or whatever, we'd have like after parties back at their house and they would tell the girls to leave and they wouldn't want to leave. So I was like, well, what do you mean they're human trafficking? Like, bro, the girls don't want to leave. So, and people think that they're like crazy misogynists or whatever. But the reality is like they treat women really well, right? Even when girls were disrespecting them at the house, they got them taxis, made sure they got home safe, all that stuff. So Andrew and Tristan are above board, honorable men. They're very respectful of women, contrary to what people think. And I think, when you're an inherently masculine guy and you got your stuff together, whatever, and you understand that men and women aren't equal, you're going to tend to defer more to being a gentleman versus being a scumbag. It's just that people think that by embracing your masculinity it makes you toxic, but I think that's actually what women want. So,
yep.
But it's bullshit, man. It's been going on for a while, and you can see like nothing's actually come of it.
Yeah, listen, Andrew Tate's not going to serve a minute in jail. All they can do is keep him tied up with paperwork and bullshit charges. We all knew he was. We all know he's completely innocent. He's not guilty.
No worries, man. Great question. And thanks for helping us set up earlier, by the way, too, man. Anybody else want to come on up? We can discuss anything. We can talk about
step on up.
Why ICE did nothing wrong. Why men are superior
Men are
to
better
women.
than women.
How Jews have too much power. I don't know.
Oh boy.
Oh, someone want to say something? What's up, man? How are you?
I'm good, man. How you doing?
Good. Welcome to the mic.
Yeah, that's whatever, man. I'm just curious on your opinion.
Sure.
What do you think about the new Israel-Palestine deal?
Look, I'm glad that the genocide is over because it's stopping the genocide temporarily because it is a genocide despite what people want to say, right? These crazy Israelis, it's not a genocide. Oh,
yeah, but they've already violated the ceasefire, so I mean,
yeah, it's not happening. It's crazy. But then they get mad when you question a certain event from the 1940s. But anyway, right? It's like they deny a genocide, right? That's happening in 4K. Meanwhile, they'll get fucking butthurt if you say it's anything less than 6 million. So, but to answer your question,
hashtag Auschwitz.
I think it's temporary. I mean, Israel already kind of broke the ceasefire this morning.
Yep.
But at least the genocide for the most part is done, and they're getting trucks in there. But you can't trust the Israelis to do anything, man, because the problem is that they have no accountability. And the reason why they have no accountability is because they control our government. I mean, Trump was at the Knesset like yesterday praising Miriam Adelson, saying that the Adelsons went to the White House more than other people and how she has all this money and all this other stuff. It's like literally he's admitting that we're owned by Israel, right? So, oh yeah, she came in and said we need to move the embassy to Jerusalem, all this other crap. So recognizing the Golan Heights, and this is because they have a ridiculous amount of influence. So since they have a ridiculous amount of influence in America and they lobby our politicians, they never get held accountable for their cowboy style foreign policy. I mean, the fact that they bombed Qatar is fucking nuts. Like that's one of our closest allies in the Middle East with our biggest military base, and they bombed them because the heads of Hamas were there. So they thought they had intel that they were going to have a meeting on the peace deal. The Israelis took that intel and they bombed them to try to get rid of them. They failed, made themselves look like an idiot, and then hurt us in the process. And then what did we have to do? Now we have to bend the knee and allow Qatari servicemen to basically be here in the United States and train and basically effectively open like damn near a military base for the Qataris here in America. And I guarantee that was because after the Israelis bombed them and we couldn't protect them, we had to sign an agreement with them, which basically has like a NATO type effect where an attack on them is an attack on us, right? To ensure their security. And we're also opening up this base on their behalf. So this is what Israeli foreign policy does, where it puts us in a compromising situation with our allies where, in exchange for them not retaliating against Israel, we have to make concessions on the other side. Hurts us diplomatically. And then on top of that, Saudi Arabia signed a deal with Pakistan, where an attack on Saudi Arabia is considered an attack on Pakistan, and Pakistan's our nuclear armed power, pushing them further into the Russian and Chinese realm of influence. So, people sit there and be like, oh yeah, they bombed Qatar. It isn't that big a deal, but it is because it has other trickle-down effects politically that put us in a very bad situation.
So how do you think we stop this? Like, how do we get IPAC out? How do we push them out of here?
I'll be honest, we got to remove Jews from government. Like, it's like dual alliance Zionist Jews, they need to get removed from government. Like, you should not be able to hold a Israeli passport or have allegiance to another country if you're going to be a government employee, especially if you carry a clearance.
Yeah.
Yep. We need to get rid of all the neocons. We need people that are not just American.
Dude, we need people who are loyal to America in the American government. I think that's common sense.
First, but America only, right?
Right.
Because what they'll try to do is they'll try to complain, supporting Israel is America first because they're our greatest ally in the region. Blah, blah, blah.
No.
Half the problems that we have in the Middle East is because of our, alignment with Israel.
With
and their
Israel.
recklessness.
Yeah.
So I think we need politicians in that have an America-only policy, not even just America first. And dual allegiance Israelis with dual citizenship, big problem. Need to get them out of the government.
Gotcha. Thank you so much.
No worries, man. Great question.
Because they're more loyal to Israel than they are America.
I like that hoodie, man. Recipes to Charlie. Okay. Anybody else?
So just as a note, we can only have the mic for another 3 minutes.
With amplified sound, but maybe we'll turn it down a little bit and see if.
Well, no sound after. Yeah, we got 3 minutes.
Oh shit! 3 minutes.
All right.
How's it going?
What's up, brother?
So I just want to ask, what's your how should I say this? So I'm the only conservative in all my classes. And what would you say to somebody who's trying to combat liberal ideology on a daily basis with their professors? How would you go about that? And
I wouldn't do it. No, dude, no. Don't do that. Don't do that. You're not going to listen. And I understand. I understand where he's coming from, but you're not going to convince professors because professors are older. They're set in their ways. This is why Charlie Kirk and Myron Gaines and Ben Shapiro, to a lesser degree, this is why they go to college campuses and debate the college students. They don't debate the professors because the professors are already dug in. Their ego invested. That this is their identity, their whole life. Young people are still in their formative stage. So I think he's got it wrong here.
Pretty much I can,
Yeah, no worries. Number one, understand that you're not alone. There's a lot of people that think like you, and kudos to you for coming up and admitting you're conservative on a college campus as a student. Much respect. But there's plenty of guys like you, just that they might not be as vocal about it. Now, when it comes to college professors, it's a part of the game, unfortunately, right? For them to get tenured, for them to get the position, for them to move up the ranks, they need to have this leftist indoctrination mindset for them to move up. So I think part of it is self-preservation, and then the other side of it is fairly delusion. So that's what I think it really comes down to when it comes to that.
Okay, thank you so much.
No worries, man. Who else?
Looks like they're getting a little braver.
Okay, you want to come on up? All right, man. Awesome. All right.
Oh, finally.
Much respect for coming up on the mic.
All right.
Oh, wait a minute.
You want? Oh. I'm going to do what you have on your billboard right here.
Okay. I did nothing wrong.
Okay.
Oh, boy. Here we go.
Okay. Do you know about... All right. Do you know about the H-2A program for agricultural workers in the U.S.?
I'm somewhat familiar with it.
Okay, so the H-2A program allows for agricultural workers from countries, for example, Latin America, East Asia, wherever. So come to the U.S. and they can work farms legally under legal precedence.
They can work what?
They can work legally in the U.S.
Okay,
but there is a lot of restrictions with that visa. Employers have a lot of jurisdiction over the migrant workers. A lot of them aren't allowed to leave the facilities. And basically, a lot of violations have included accusations of literally live slavery. Slavery happening to these workers. They cannot leave. They have no jurisdiction over their rights. And a lot of them are facing conditions such as field housing. They don't have any property rights on top of tenants too, so they're not legally even tenants. And if you're a tenant renting, they don't even have property rights.
What does this have to do with anything? What does this have to do with anything?
I mean, there's people out here who don't even have property rights, and they're coming here legally and being used as slave labor.
God.
People are being used as slaves right now here in America, and because of ICE not doing anything. ICE not doing anything but deport people who are here looking for a better life.
Well, wait a minute. If ICE is deporting these people, aren't they essentially setting these people free? Think about what he just said. He just said that this is modern day slavery. Some of these migrant workers aren't even allowed to leave their facilities. They're indentured servants. They're slaves. So if ICE comes in there and deports them, doesn't that mean that they're freeing those people from modern day slavery?
Support their dream. These people...
Their dream of being a slave?
Can't even defend legal immigration to the H-2A program.
So, is your grievance with the visa or with ICE or both?
Both. Because immigrants, even if you try to go through the legal process in this country, you can't even have your own freedom. Because under this H-2A program, these migrant workers have the ability to rank and file and go about their business. if the work isn't good. But workers under this condition don't even have a right as
well,
working
let's address
people.
the visa first. When it comes to the visa, I've said this before. I think we need an immigration moratorium for 1 to 5 years so that we can fix the visa system because we have a broken visa system in the United States. This is what I was alluding to. We have a broken visa system. Yeah, absolutely. There's a lot of problems, whether it's people overstaying their F1s or J1s, people coming in on B1, B2s and abusing it that
and that's
way.
a fault on employers, though. That's not a fault on the people working.
No, I get that. But,
that's a fault on the employers.
But we need stricter regulation. We need to reform our entire visa and immigration program in the first place. Now, when it comes to your issues with ICE, what ICE is doing is simply deporting people that are out of status. It's that simple.
Thank you.
It's not as simple as out of status.
I mean, if they're out of status,
it
they're
is.
out of status.
They're increasing the enforcement. But these people...
No, homie. It is literally that simple. If you are an undocumented person or you have overstayed your visa, you are not allowed to be here anymore. I don't know what that has to do with indentured servitude. If anything, when ICE comes in and deports these people, they are literally freeing these slaves. What's he talking about?
Yeah, one who handles
they're increasing their enforcement. Here's the thing. They're increasing their enforcement.
And the people can't even go legally through the process. Once they go legally through the process, they don't even have rights as people in this country. So
okay, so that's another issue. We're not talking about people who have gone through the process. We're talking about people who have not.
Even if you go legally through the process,
they
you
actually
don't
do have
even
rights.
fucking rights.
Yeah, they do have rights. They go see an immigration judge.
Because these H-2A workers are under slave conditions.
Oh my God.
They do have rights if they're apprehended by ICE. They go see an immigration judge. The immigration judge makes the call. But you got to understand that immigration court is not the same as criminal court. Two completely different infrastructures.
Live stream, right?
Yeah, it's live. Yeah. So there's a completely different infrastructure for immigration court versus a criminal court. Now with that said, if people are here illegally, bro, it's pretty cut and dry. Are you out of status or not? If you're out of status, you're gonna get deported. Simple as that. And we've been allowing people to kind of coast. Hold on. Let me just finish my point.
No. See that? See when Myron reduces it down to its when Myron reduces it down to its simplest form. Okay. Here's what ICE is doing. It ain't complicated. ICE is deporting people who are out of status. If you are here illegally or you have overstayed your visa, then you get deported. It's that simple.
The reason why, right? The reason why this is a problem, and we've been kicking this can down the road, is because we've got to a point now where people being in the country illegally, people think, oh, well, they should still be able to stay even though they're here illegally. And we've just been kicking the can down the road on this problem and not deporting people, not enforcing immigration, not doing interior enforcement. And that's created a lot of problems. And that's why people are so shocked and uncomfortable right now when the ERO and ICE and all these guys are actually doing their jobs. But this should have been done years ago. But it's so shocking to everyone because we've come to this complacent, comfortable position where it's like, oh yeah, people are here illegally. If people are here illegally, they continue to stay.
Even if these people, you're saying they don't have legal status, any status,
whatever
status it is, you can say as simple as that. But ultimately, these industries, these working American people who claim that they're labor, especially agricultural workers, these industries depend on migrant labor. They depend on migrant labor, and once they even get legal migrant labor, these people are living and working under slave conditions.
Okay, so go and listen. If that's the case, then go and talk to somebody about that. If there are people who are legal migrant workers who are working in slave conditions, then Myron's not your enemy here. Myron's not your enemy. If that really is an issue, then Myron is not the guy to talk about this. Myron is talking about people who are either illegally here or have overstayed their visa. He's not talking about people who have legally gone through the process. This guy keeps trying to change the topic. Myron kept it simple. If you're illegal, you got to go. Well, now even the legal people are being held by slaves or are being treated like slaves. Okay, so go address those employers. Myron's not the guy to talk to about that. Sorry.
So even if you were to obtain an H-2A visa, you're still discriminated
against. That has nothing to do with ICE.
Going to the system legally.
Thank you. There is nothing to do with ICE. All ICE does is remove illegals. That's it. Once they remove illegals, if a person is legal, cool. Right? It's not ICE's job to go in and make sure that the legal migrant workers are under favorable conditions. There's probably another department for that. ICE's job is to deport illegal immigrants. That's it.
Point.
You're complaining about the employers.
The point of going through illegally.
Look,
and this is how you're treated.
Once
you're treated like a legal citizen
in
in the country.
Now he's filibustering because he knows he doesn't have an argument. He's filibustering because he knows he doesn't have an argument. He's not going to let Myron talk. He's just going to continue to talk because his argument's defeated.
You're literally a fucking slave. That's right. Is that a right? Should that be right?
Again, your grievance is with the employers.
Should that be right? If you're a citizen, you should be treated as a fucking slave in this country.
Just calm down for a second.
Okay. So ICE is doing a lot of fucking shit wrong.
What you're complaining about right now are the
No. ICE is not doing a lot of fucking shit wrong. ICE is doing a lot of fucking shit right. What you are complaining about are legal migrant workers. Legal migrant workers. ICE is not worried about those people. ICE is not worried about those people. They're worried about the people who are illegal. Has nothing to do with ICE.
Employers.
Okay. The employers support this. The employers support ICE being in the country.
ICE. Wait a minute. The employers don't support ICE because if they have legal migrants, why would they be supporting ICE? See, he keeps trying to join the two together. He's trying to join the two together as King Life in the chat says ICE isn't even a part of that. So what he's trying to do is he's trying to bring in the problems and the sins of other organizations and trying to blame ICE for all that. ICE is not to blame. ICE is not to blame for the employers treating legal migrant workers like quote unquote slaves. Sorry. ICE ain't got nothing to do with that. Has nothing to do with the employment.
These people voted
XXRuNXX on the Rumble site says illegal aliens who are being used as slaves are being used as slaves by Democrats. Had to free them from Democrats in 1860. Have to do it in 2025. Real talk.
They're actually there to take them from the employment that you're talking about. Like ICE
Thank
is there
you.
to rescue them from the employment. Send them back home.
No. See, there it is. That's exactly what I just said. ICE is there to help the employer.
Them, because even if you go through the proper channels, if you come into this country legally, there's no right for you as a worker.
What you're arguing for is not the topic. You're arguing against predatorial companies. Fine, yeah. I agree that could be a problem. But that's okay. But the topic is
right. That is a problem, but that's not what we're talking about. We're talking about ICE. We're not talking about bad employers. If you want to talk about bad employers, go to another campus and have a debate on that. But that's not what this is about.
Predatorial companies that abuse the visa system. The topic is people are here illegally and ICE does nothing wrong by deporting them. You're arguing something completely different, man.
Thank you. Phoenix Light Games with the $10 super chat says, yep, this is what liberals do. They complicate simple facts in order to misconstrue the objective message, which is pretty black and white. True wisdom begins when you accept things as they are. Yeah, this is something that this dude is not doing.
I'm arguing under the same vein.
No, you're not. You're arguing about predatory employers. Not the same.
Yeah, these predatory employers actually do support the
Do you have another topic that you want to discuss?
Why do predatory employers... See, now he's talking about predatory employers do support the ICE. This guy just wants to talk trash about ICE. Okay? Myron has convinced this man. Myron has convinced this man that ICE is doing nothing wrong. He's convinced him. But because he doesn't want to admit that he's lost the argument, he's going to talk about predatory employers. Predatory employers are wrong. They should not be doing what they're doing. That's not what this is about. Myron does not support predatory employers. He does, however, support ICE, as do I.
Yes. Yeah. Besides that was it? Okay. All right. Anyone else want to come on up?
I have a question.
Sure.
So, do you think that the Likud party has done more problems to the United States and to any other country than any good that could ever come from it?
Yeah, I mean, the Likud party is the reason why we're in this crazy situation in the first place. For those that are unaware, what he's referring to is the right-wing party of Israel for their government. The Likud party is like their functional equivalent of like the Republican Party. But most of them are very far-right nationalists that basically want to remove the Palestinians altogether. And Netanyahu, you guys think that he's crazy. He's the most moderate of them. The rest of them like truly want to just eliminate all the Palestinians. Many of them have said drop bomb in Gaza, get them out of here, Ben Gvir, Smotrich, all these weirdos. So, wow. Yeah, I mean, and that's a big reason why it's been...
Dude, if he said Benjamin Netanyahu is...
so difficult for Trump to get this peace plan done. I think Israel bombing Qatar and all the international pressure with Canada, UK, and France recognizing Palestine, pretty much Trump, I think, told them like, dude, we got to take a break here. You got to fucking end this war. And they definitely want to attack Iran. So I think with them wanting to attack Iran, they also needed to pause the fighting in Gaza. But the Likud party has absolutely been the driving force that's been propping up Netanyahu to do all the bullshit that he's doing.
Do you think that...
That's the home base of the bullshit.
So do you think that if the Likud party was... you can't really justify the Likud party's existence because its entire existence is based on the extermination of Palestinians. That's their entire goal. That's what... what's his name? Their first prime minister, Ben Gurion.
Yep.
Yeah, that's what he wrote in his biography and everything.
Yeah, I don't know if he was a Likud guy back then. I think he was more on the left side with the Labour Party. But regardless, the Likud party is a big problem.
Yeah.
That is the home base of the reckless foreign policy that Benjamin Netanyahu has been instituting.
Thank you.
I did not know that.
Anyone else?
I did not know that.
Agree, disagree. ICE did nothing wrong. Women are dumb. Jews control America, and that's not good. Go ahead, get on the mic so they can hear you.
What do you think young men in our generation are doing wrong, especially like in our college age group? Do you think that
what are young men doing wrong?
We're doing that we could be doing better, or we're missing out on right now because we're being distracted in a sense to social media and everything else?
Yeah, well, I think what young men need to focus on is becoming competent, right? This is something that we've kind of foregone because we live in this society where guys don't want to rise up to the occasion to become better because...
Hey, the stark contrast says driving back down to Seattle from the Canadian border in Blaine, Washington. Stoked to catch you live on this incredibly beautiful autumn drive. Good to see you.
It's like, oh, well, I don't want to come off as toxic.
Yep, and I'm doing quite well, actually.
Masculine, or I don't want to be, overbearing or whatever. Like, men need to be okay with being men again, right? We need to, number one, become competent. Number two, be a strong leader. And then number three, not be scared or apologetic about being any of those things, right? We live in a world now where it's like women will tell you, oh, you're being misogynistic, you're being toxic and masculine. The reality is, and what they won't tell you is that that's precisely what they want, right? The reason why this phrase, nice guys finish last, is such a thing is because it's true. Women don't know what they want. They don't even know what they want to eat for lunch. So why the hell are we going to listen to them? Like, you got to be the unapologetic asshole that they need in their life because women need guidance.
That's right.
So that's what I would say guys are. Yep, come on the mic. Sure, go ahead, bro. Can you guys all hear me right? You guys hear me good? All right, cool. Because we had to turn the amplification sound down, which is super fucking gay, but it is what it is.
This has nothing to do with this, but
yeah.
Would you rather date a fat girl or a black girl?
Would I rather date a fat girl or a black girl?
Nope. A fat girl or a black girl? Nope. Okay, Donovan, gun to your head. Would you rather date a fat girl or a black girl? Shoot me in the head. Let me repeat that. Gun to your head, Donovan. Would you rather date a fat girl or a black girl? Shoot me. Shoot me.
Fat girl.
Why? Why?
Because the black girl's gonna be fat anyway.
Oh! Wow! Wow! Holy moly! Holy moly!
All right.
Wow! America's 187 pounds, dude. She got me fat anyway. Goddamn! At least I can get the fat girl that don't give me an attitude.
Right?
Real hair.
I got one more question.
Yeah, go ahead.
Would you rather see 2 black girls fight for a wig or 2 fat girls fight for food?
2 black girls fight over a wig or 2 fat girls fight for food. I'd rather see the 2 black women fight for a wig.
Damn. 2 black girls fight for a wig or 2 fat girls fight for food.
Yep. I want to see both.
Do I see both, bro?
Not yet.
All right, 2 black girls fighting for a wig is hilarious. I'd probably do that one.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, because it's gonna be more entertaining. The fat girls, they'll be jiggling and stuff like so.
All right, thank you, Myron.
No worries, man. Good questions. Oh man, what's up, man? Come on up.
The Stark Contrast says, great to hear, Donovan. Come to Seattle soon, and I'll show you behind the scenes for Seattle Seahawks game day. All right, well, hit me up over on my Discord. The link is in the description. That'd be great.
How are you?
I'm doing good. So I was listening to like your early talks.
Oh yeah, talk into the mic, bro, so they can hear you.
I was listening to your early talks about Jews, Zionism, Israel, all that stuff.
Yeah.
Are you strongly believe that like Zionism and Jews control the U.S. government?
Absolutely.
Why? Like I just want to know some like specific like do you have?
Okay, so I'll kind of start from the beginning here, and I'll kind of explain this because I'll try to go through it somewhat quick.
Yeah.
So when I say that Jews and Zionists control America, what I mean by this is they have a ridiculous amount of influence in almost every pivotal infrastructure point in American society, whether it's tech, finance, the government, media, even pornography, right? Because nowadays that's like a big industry.
Definitely pornography.
They have a presence there to a significant degree, right? Television, etc. So what they've been able to do with this influence is use it to their advantage to basically prop up and protect the state of Israel. Because the state of Israel is in a precarious situation because it's surrounded by people that don't want them there, or nations that don't want them there.
Well, so there's been some countries, like before October 7th, some countries have worked towards peace with Israel. Like I forgot, like Arab Emirates, like Egypt.
Yeah, so
Jordan.
Egypt did in 1978 with the Camp David Accords, if I'm not mistaken.
No, that was something else.
Was that?
I think it was something else.
No, I'm pretty sure it was the Camp David Accords with Saddam and Menachem Begin. But the point I'm trying to, and Egypt, that was back in the 70s. Egypt and Jordan, the reason why they signed those agreements because they're right on Israel's borders, and we give them a lot of foreign aid. So we give Israel most
right.
Jordan
It's
and
always
Egypt
been
right
that way. It's
there.
been like
we
that
basically pay them to play nice with the Israelis, right?
Yes.
But what I'm trying to say is how they control America. So they're every single infrastructure point, like I stated, right?
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Then they lobby, right, especially within the government, whether they get positions of power or they get power outside of the government, or lobby like the Adelsons, etc. And they utilize this lobbying to preserve Israel. And they focus on getting our American foreign policy, especially in the Middle East, to benefit Israel. This is why we had the war on terror, which was a monumental failure. This is why we went to Iraq. This is why we had all these conflicts all across the Middle East, was for Israel's security.
Right, but I feel like a lot of it has like died down. Like, did you see when Netanyahu, he went up in front of I forgot where, and like everyone walked out?
Yeah, because he was conducting a genocide.
Yeah, I feel like a lot of influence is like disappearing. So,
well, let me put it to you this way: if any other country was doing what Israel did, they would be completely admonished by the entire world.
Absolutely.
They would be sanctioned to hell. They would not be able to. They would like.
But there are other countries that are doing what Israel's doing.
Yeah. And
yes, but because because a lot of people are in Israel's pocket, they can't do anything.
And they don't get support from the United States.
There you go. There it is.
No one is doing what Israel's doing. There's no one is doing.
China with the Uyghurs, Haiti.
Of course,
you could maybe argue for Ukraine.
I would say what Israel's doing is worse. And the thing is that we give them a lot of financial aid to do it.
That is true.
Right. This is why they're able to run with. This is why they're able to do the reckless foreign policy that they do, because they have unequivocal U.S. support. And it's because they control every infrastructure within the United States.
So then what's the solution to that?
Remove them from government.
Every single Jew.
Yes. Any dual allegiance, Zionist Jew, or Zionist for that matter. I'm not just talking about just removing Jews, but any dual allegiance Zionist needs to be removed from positions of government. And we need a foreign policy that benefits America only, not Israel. Because Israel serves no strategic benefits to the United States.
I totally agree with America first. Like I myself, I'm Jewish, but I'm American, right?
Okay.
I knew it. I was actually going to say this guy sounds like he might be Jewish, which isn't a problem, but that makes sense.
I agree, American first. We should put our focus in our own country before other countries.
Yeah.
Like I do not think we should be sending all this money to Israel. Yep. At the same time, I feel like everyone should have some say. I feel like we should have
No, everybody does not need to have say in every government. Guys, this is the difference between nationalism and globalism. This is what separates one country, one nation from another. Okay? Not every country needs to have a say in U.S. policy, foreign or domestic. It needs to be America first and America only. And when you have other people from other countries, other dual citizenships, that gets diluted. And that's why we're in the position that we're in now. So for him to say, well, everybody needs to have a seat at the table, no, everybody doesn't need to have a seat at the table. Everyone who has a seat at the table needs to be an American. America first, America only.
Zionist.
AFAO.
Zionists, like all those type of people in the government, because that's what makes a democracy. That's
I can
No. Democracy as far as Americans are concerned. This is not a world democracy. This is a domestic democracy.
Your perspective, but the problem is that these people put Israel first, and you cannot put if you're going to go ahead and prioritize Israel, by definition, America's not going to be prioritized.
There you go.
The Israelis have put us in really bad diplomatic positions.
Listen, it's a zero-sum game. It's a zero-sum game. Anything that benefits Israel almost always indirectly is at America's detriment. This is what Myron's talking about.
Which, I saw you heard earlier with Qatar and everything else like that. Yeah. So this is what I mean when I say they have too much influence and we can't have them having that level of influence in the United States. And all the wars that we had in the Middle East is because of Israel. We've been wasting our time in the sandbox. We should have been focusing on China all this time.
Afghanistan, that was because of Israel?
Yeah.
Why?
Yes.
The war on terror. The entire war on terror was...
Bro!
Okay, so back in...
See, and you can tell he's a little younger. He probably wasn't alive to experience 9/11. He's probably not more... Because it's incredible to me that 9/11 was 24 years ago. I can't believe that. That's fucking crazy. But that kid doesn't look like he's 25 years old. He looks like or 24. He looks like he's 19, 20 years old. So he probably doesn't really understand the impact of 9/11.
We started in 1996. Daniel Pearl and a couple other neocon Jews, right, drafted something called the Clean Break Memo. In this Clean Break Memo, they orchestrated a strategy to take over 7 different Muslim countries in the Middle East. Pretty much every country there that was identified has been destroyed or destabilized or cucked and have some kind of deal with Israel and the United States. The last country left is Iran, which I predict we're going to go to war with them probably by the end of this year or next year.
Oh my God. We cannot go to war with Iran, man. We cannot. Oh my God.
Because the Israelis. And then you fast forward to the year 2000 with the Project for a New America, PNAC. They also were talking about removing Saddam Hussein, etc. And they said they needed a Pearl Harbor-like event to make this change. Well, then a year later, what happens? 9/11. And when 9/11 happens, several Israeli intelligence operatives were caught celebrating and dancing when the towers were hit. Really? Oh, you didn't know about this?
No, he didn't know about this, and this is what I was getting at. He didn't know about that because he wasn't alive to see 9/11. I think he was born after 9/11. He was born after 9/11. That's why, look, listen to that again. He's like, wait a minute, they were dancing? And again, you can't blame him. He wasn't alive for this. I was alive for this. I saw people dancing in the streets watching videos of those planes hitting the towers. He doesn't remember that because he's too young to remember.
To make this change. Well, then a year later, what happens? 9/11. And when 9/11 happens, several Israeli intelligence operatives were caught celebrating and dancing.
There you go.
When the towers were hit. Really? Oh, you didn't know about this?
Yes. And the reason he doesn't know about this has nothing to do with his ignorance. It's just he wasn't around to see it. He wasn't old enough to see it.
Yeah, so several Israeli intelligence... so there was a movie company called Urban Movie Systems, but there was a bunch of other ones as well, White Glove Servicing, whatever. And all these different movie companies were following these hijackers in Florida and in California. So the reality is this. 9/11 was a terrorist attack conducted by the U.S. deep state, Saudi Arabia, and Israel. Really? Absolutely. There's declassified documents now that prove that the CIA knew that these hijackers were in America, purposely didn't tell the FBI about it, right? And facilitated the attacks to happen. And
guys, this is why these debates are so important. This is why these debates are important. Because Myron is teaching this kid something that he didn't already know. And even though he is Jewish himself, I think Myron has given him a different perspective. I think Myron's given him something to think about. This is why these debates are important, because the kid is arguing in good faith. Like, he's got his disagreements, right? But he's also not arguing in bad faith. He's being honest, right? And he's like, well, I didn't know that. He's not pretending to know about something he didn't know about. And right now he's getting an education. This is the value of these debates. This is what we need.
5 Israelis were caught in New Jersey dancing and celebrating and flicking lighters as the towers were on fire. And they had foreknowledge that it was going to happen.
So you think every single major American event has happened because of Israel?
I'm not saying that. I'm saying 9/11, there's absolutely Zionist fingerprints all over it.
I could see, yeah. So you think when
the Saudis were involved too? Like, my thing is, I will call everybody out. So the Saudis were involved, the Israelis, and the United States.
Yep.
With the CIA.
Yep. So do you think when, that famous picture where the CIA agent is telling, what's his name? Oh my God. The president at the time.
Oh, he said picture. I thought he said picture. I was like, what picture is he talking about?
What's his name?
There's a lot of presidents.
The guy, 9/11. What's his
George Bush?
George W. Bush. Oh boy, yeah, this guy is really young. Jesus.
So I know he's young, man. He doesn't even.
No. I used to be able to name my presidents a year ago, but it's fine.
You probably weren't alive.
Yeah, being able to name them is yeah.
That era. Shows my age.
Yeah. So you think he was telling George Bush that the attack was successful?
Well, I think it's important for people to know.
During the Bush administration, he's talking. What he is talking. I know what photo he's talking about. The picture he's talking about, I believe, is the picture of George W. Bush. And I guess it's a Secret Service agent or an advisor whispering into George Bush's ear, and you can see the expression on George Bush's face. He was reading, I think it was like story time with elementary school kids at the time that Bush got the message that the towers had been hit. And so that's the picture that he's talking about.
Foreign policy was Dick Cheney.
Yes, there you go. Yeah, Dick Cheney was a powerhouse. Phoenix Light Game says, Donald, let me tell you something, man. It amazes me that a lot of people are still unaware, especially women, that we are this close to not only World War III, but also a civil war. Yeah, And niggas don't seem to realize that either. This is why niggas continue to attack white people with impunity, because they think that white people are just gonna continue to turn the other cheek like they have since the George Floyd era. Retaliation is coming, and retaliation comes. God help us all.
Bush was effectively just letting Dick Cheney run everything with the Office of Special Plans and everything else.
Yep.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Yep. There you go. See that? And listen, if you guys want to get a good idea. If you guys really want to get a good idea of the true dynamic between George W. Bush and Dick Cheney, watch the movie Vice. Watch the movie Vice. Christian Bale is probably I think he's the greatest actor of our time. He played Dick Cheney. I would strongly advise you to watch the movie Vice. It was a little exaggerated, but it verifies what Myron said. Dick Cheney ran all that stuff. George W. Bush deferred to him, not the other way around.
He was the war hawk that Dick Cheney and a lot of the neoconservatives.
Yep.
Robert Kagan, Douglas Feith, Paul Wolfowitz.
Yes.
All these guys were John Bolton. These guys were all neocons, and the majority of them were Jewish. That pretty much worked on Cheney.
Oh boy, we've got a feminist. in the crowd.
John Bolton. These guys were all.
There she is. You can already tell this bitch is chomping at the bit. You can tell she's chomping at the bit. Look at her. She can't wait to get in there.
Neocons, and the majority of them were Jewish.
I've never seen so many women line up to take L's.
That pretty much worked alongside Dick Cheney to orchestrate the Iraq War, which is, I think, one of the biggest monumental failures in American foreign policy ever.
You think that's the biggest monumental failure?
One of the biggest, for sure.
I think the biggest failure has got to be when Jimmy Carter, that era, with the Middle East.
I mean, people rank him as a.
Jimmy Carter was a good man. He was a really, really good man. He's one of the worst presidents we've ever had. Good man. This doesn't speak to his character. Jimmy Carter was in over his head. This is why Reagan kicked his ass in 1980, man. Jimmy Carter was a good man. He was not a good leader.
President, but that's what started the war on terror. Was this bad foreign policy.
All right. Thank you. It's great talking.
No worries, bro. No worries.
The Roma says Christian Bale should have won an Oscar for Ice, bro. Dude, to me, the true measure of an exemplary actor is when you are watching the screen and you forget that it's the actor. Guys like Edward Norton, Johnny Depp, Christian Bale, you forget who they are. You forget Christian Bale has had, oh my God, dude, what was it called? The Fighter. He was awesome in that. American Hustle. Oh my God. Brilliant.
What's up, man?
Myron, I want to say thank you.
And guys, when you come up on the mic, speak loud because we're not using amplified sound because they're gay. Yeah, what was that? Yeah, speak closer and then speak loud so everybody here can hear you. And then, good. What's up, bro?
Thank you for coming to Penn State. I want to say I've seen like a lot of your videos. How come when you talk to people about Jewish situations that they get so mad and they're so biased because they're Jewish that they don't see the situation that's actually going on?
So yeah, it's interesting. So perhaps the same question could be asked about niggas. And I remember Myron said on one of his live streams, he compared Israeli people. He says Jewish people are basically niggas with money. That's all it is. Same victim mindset, same this, same that. The only difference is that Jewish people have money and niggas be broke.
Just so I make sure I have this.
James Hancock said Fight Club. No, Christian Bale was not in that. That was Brad Pitt. Oh, Edward Norton in Fight Club. Edward Norton in Fight Club. I didn't forget that it was him. I knew that it was Edward Norton. The movie that I forgot Edward Norton was Primal Fear. That was Edward Norton's first and greatest performance.
Sorry. So why is it that Zionist Jews can't see the problem? Is that your question?
Yeah, it's also like I was talking with a girl who's Jewish the other day, and she's like she can't even see the other side of it. She's so one-sided.
Oh. Yeah. Well, I mean, just like niggas. Dude, the reason why you can't tell niggas nothing is because of racial idolatry. That's all.
Is she practicing or just ethnically Jewish?
Just ethnically Jewish, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you gotta, it's gonna come off maybe offensive or whatever, but let's just be honest about it. You're talking about a group of people who call themselves the chosen people. Right. So they're inherently going to be.
Praetorian Guard says, gotta tap out, fellas. Be safe. Appreciate you stopping in, brother. We will see you on the next Hard R podcast. That is Praetorian Guard, the resident cop of TSR Towers. Oh, you know what? Jay Blaze, I stand corrected. Wow. I stand corrected. Primal Fear is Edward Norton's second greatest achievement. His greatest was American History X. He was insane in that movie. Oh my God. That was If you have not watched American History X, you've got to see that movie. That is a must. Holy moly, good call.
In their worldview, and that translates things over into foreign policy.
The Illusionist was really good too. That was a really good movie too. But American History X was insane.
Right. The reality is that Israelis simply don't give a shit about Palestinian life or anyone really else, and this is why they've been kicked out of so many different societies and had problems. So, when you call yourself the chosen people, that's going to bleed into your interactions with others.
Yeah, there you go.
If they don't serve us in any way, why does the U.S. keep helping them?
Because we're in their pocket. They support us financially.
It's a fantastic fucking question. And you know what's funny? They wouldn't be able to answer it.
No.
If you ask the government that, they would not be able to answer it. I encourage all you guys to look this up. Richard Nixon did an interview in the 80s or 90s. And the newscaster asked him, why do we support Israel? Because in his memoirs, he admitted that Israel provides us zero strategic benefit. And,
wow! Said, now that I did not know that. That might have been why Watergate happened.
The reason why we support them is because it's a ethical and moral one. Judeo-Christian values, which is a fucking lie in itself. But we do it for more reasons, right? But
oh my god, dude, the curb! Oh my god, the curb stomp! Oh my god, that was disturbing.
Translation? It's not. Yeah. The translation is because they have a ridiculous amount of influence in the United States and use that influence to push our foreign policy to their benefit, to our detriment.
Oh yeah, Vigilante. How do I feel about Edward Norton's Hulk was so. There's Eric Bana. So I think the three Hulks that we remember, other than Lou Ferrigno, Edward Norton, Eric Bana, and Mark Ruffalo. I think Mark Ruffalo probably could be the best Hulk, but maybe because he's been the Hulk in a lot more movies than Norton and Bana. But yeah, absolutely. Yeah, Ed Norton in the Hulk was really good.
That's the real reason.
Really
but
good.
They might say it's because of Christian Judeo values or we have a moral obligation to them.
You talked about the 9/11 situation. What did anyone in the U.S. do about those guys celebrating it when it happened?
So
nothing.
This is the beauty of independent media. So I'm 35. I'm old.
Oh.
But I remember, when I was 11 years old and 9/11 happened.
This nigga talk about he's 35 and he's old.
You couldn't find this information in the mainstream media because it got shut down quick. So the mainstream media did report on it, but then they quickly got that stuff off the air. And this was a topic that's been banned for very long. But thanks to the research of social media and independent media, we're able to find out what really happened on that day.
Charlie LeBron with the $2 super chat says, "Is that the movie where John Connor dies by ninjas?" No, I don't know. I don't know. What movie was that? Taker says, W. Don, indeed. Check the audio recordings of the Watergate scandal. It is related to Israel. Oh, yeah, I wouldn't doubt it. Devin in the chat says, Jewish people get leverage. That's how. The almighty dollar, blackmail, leverage. Absolutely.
And we're figuring out about these.
Dude, you don't think J. Edgar Hoover was involved with the Israelis with all the dirt he had on everybody?
Intelligence operatives, these Israeli intelligence operatives, and this is all declassified FBI documents. This isn't a conspiracy theory anymore. It's absolutely verified fact that Israeli operatives were caught celebrating and had foreknowledge of the attacks on 9/11. It's absolute fact.
Do you think mainstream media took it away so fast because the mainstream media is controlled by Israelis?
Absolutely.
Yep.
Absolutely.
Yep.
All of the
100%.
networks are controlled by Zionists.
100%.
Or the Murdochs, who the Murdochs are hardcore Zionists, even though they might not necessarily be Jewish.
So what about the people in the government who are fully American? What do you think they think about the people who are Israeli in the government?
It doesn't matter. They can't say it out loud.
Influencing it. Do you think they have
matter?
They don't care because they're getting paid.
Yeah.
They're being lobbied and they just shut up about this topic and don't. And because if you talk about this, you look at someone like a Thomas Massey, right? They've been trying to get him out for a long time. Corey Bush was.
They'll get Massey out eventually.
Israel, and she said, "Hey, we need to figure out something with this genocide." The AIPAC spent millions of dollars to make sure she got out in St. Louis, a region that doesn't even matter to them. But that's how much influence they have. Where it's like, oh, you're not pro-Israel? Cool. We're going to fund your opposition and make sure that we crush you. And that's what they do.
That's why we need people like you to bring it to the world.
Hey, man, I'm considered a far-right extremist, so I don't know. But maybe one day I'll become pure.
What do you think they can do in the future? Like, if it just keeps going like this, how are we supposed to end it?
The good thing is, right, I'm here on a college campus talking to you guys right now about this problem. You guys are the future.
That's how it ends. There you go. And Myron just nailed it on the head. How do we end this? We end it just like this. With college debates. We can't listen, and this was the brilliance of Charlie Kirk. Charlie knew that as soon as you hit the age of 25, 26, 27 years old, you were who you were. Whatever you were indoctrinated with, that was what you were going to ride with. Unless some sort of catastrophic or cataclysmic event happened in your life, you were going to be who you were going to be. Charlie Kirk understood that in order to change America, you had to change young people. And that begins and ends on campus.
So the more young people that wake up to this problem, the higher the likelihood one of you guys here, someone that's watching, etc., is gonna grow up, get a position of power, get into politics, and know the truth.
Absolutely.
And then hopefully our government will start to represent that. Okay. Obviously, it's going to take a couple of election cycles for our youth to get in, but the youth overwhelmingly is awakened to this topic, which
our
generation we weren't because we didn't have alternative media to learn this stuff.
Yeah. This is not ICE related, but I'm a freshman. How would you recommend? Obviously, I want to get rich right now. That's the focus. But I'm also studying, and it's a school where you go to get good education.
Yeah.
How would you recommend I balance the amount of study I do to like the work that I do to try and make money. Because I've noticed when I try and put my effort into really grinding on making money, I miss assignments and stuff.
Yeah, that's the thing. You have to make you have to make a choice. You have to make a decision. It is very, very. Listen, it's not impossible, but it's very, very difficult to start something big and study at the same time. This is why this is every once in a while, especially in the West Coast. This is one thing that I will give college professors kudos on. If they have a student like maybe Mark Zuckerberg, and to a lesser degree the Winklevoss twins, Eduardo Saverin, who was Mark Zuckerberg's partner along with the Winklevoss twins. You're starting Facebook, get out of here. Anytime a college professor says, "Oh, wait a minute, you've created an app that's going to change the world," you don't need to be here anymore. Don't waste your time. Don't waste your money. Get up out of here. So what he should do is he should work on a side hustle, maybe part-time, and if something pops, then maybe you should leave school, because school's not going anywhere. You can always go back to school. We got 50 and 60-year-olds in school, in college, right? So you have your whole life to get educated. You only have a finite number of years when you stumble on something big or something that can change your life to capitalize on that. But I agree with Captain Stransky. Stick to school for now. But if there's something that you really, really are passionate about that could possibly make you a lot of money, you can take a gap year. You can take a hiatus from school, and if it doesn't work out, you can always go back.
Yeah. It's a balance, and I'll be honest with you, bro, because I remember that, because I was a D1 athlete, and I remember like working a job and being an athlete and everything else like that. I think that the thing for young men, all you guys here, is to get used to suffering in your 20s, right? You're going to have to avoid partying, doing drugs, having fun, whatever. Because, let's be honest here, college is an acceptable way to spend 4 years being a degenerate. I was a D1 athlete. I get it.
It's a vacation, literally.
It's a vacation, right?
Yeah, right.
But I think with young men, they really need to focus on building their value in their 20s so that they can have an easy decade in their 30s. Because if you don't work hard in your 20s, you're going to suffer in your 30s. You're going to have to make up for it. So, and as you get older and older, it's going to be harder and harder to work hard. So it's going to suck. You're going to have to probably put in some hours and give up a lot of your social time, but it's absolutely worth it.
Okay, thank you.
Hellfong says that's why the secondary option is going into a trade school apprenticeship program. 100% agreement there.
Also, what's it like being with? This is crazy. What's it like being with Tate and those types of guys who would just like?
Yeah, no, Tate is great, man. I mean, iron sharpens iron. You want to be around guys that are successful. If you're around 3 successful guys, you'll be the 4th. It's inevitable at some point. So surround yourself with guys that got their stuff together. Don't do drugs. Don't drink all the time. I know this sounds really cheesy or whatever, but it does add up over time.
No, it's true.
It really does.
It's true.
Thank you. No problem, man. No problem. Yeah.
Yeah, the Rome says, Bill Gates and Steve Jobs both dropped out. Absolutely. Dude, Bill Joy of Sun Microsystems, of Sun Microsystems, he dropped out. A lot of the most successful people on the planet are high schools, are college, sometimes even high school dropouts.
Everyone thinks I'm short, but yeah. All right. Okay, well, what's up?
Oh, boy, here we go. What's your
name?
Maggie.
What's up?
Maggie,
what's up?
What is your thoughts about Trump?
What is my thoughts about what?
Yeah, Trump.
Oh, my God. I knew this bitch was going to be a fucking... Here we go. What are your thoughts about Trump? Here we go.
Trump? I like Trump for the most part. There's things he does that I like, and there's things he does that I don't like. I'm definitely not one of these guys that's going to sit here and be what I call a MAGA retard, where you're unable to criticize mistakes.
Charlie LeBron says American History X is Norton's younger brother. Yes. His name was Edward Furlong. Edward Furlong is the name. I don't remember what his character's name was, but his name was Edward Furlong. He's the kid. And I don't want to spoil it for anybody, but he's the kid who was Edward Norton's character's younger brother in American History X. He was also John Connor, like you said, in Terminator 2. So his name was Edward Furlong.
When it comes to foreign policy, I think he's doing a damn good job.
Yeah.
He's ended several conflicts.
Yes.
When it comes to economy, the whole tariff situation, he's using it more as a bargaining chip versus actually revitalizing the economy. I don't like the Israel situation. I wish he had a better grasp on controlling Netanyahu. But, that's kind of the part for the course in American politics. But I do like what he's doing with immigration. He's the first president that's actually had the nuts to enforce immigration, not just at the border, but actually doing it interior. Yeah. And that's why everyone is, losing their minds right now, because we've never had a surge like this where we got immigration enforcement agents going in and picking people up in the United States.
Right. I mean, I'm from Egypt. I'm a U.S. citizen, and I feel like people are just overreacting about how immigration should be, like the immigrants should be here, but...
Overreacting? Are you kidding me?
It should be like they need to go back to their country because we don't know who's coming in our country. And
well, guess what? That's not our problem.
That's what I like about what he's doing, but the Israel thing is not. It's just not a good thing.
Yeah, it's not. It's not. And it sucks because every president since John F. Kennedy has been a cuck for Israel, right?
Yep.
And there's a reason why JFK got killed. But
or not except for Trump.
But yeah, no, I agree for sure that if you're here legally, you're here legally. I mean, I'm first generation, American myself. Right. I'm from Sudan. You said you're from Egypt, so we're neighbors. You got to follow the law.
Right. Thank you.
So no worries.
Yep.
Shukran. What's up, man?
What's up, man?
You guys can hear me good? We having a good time out here or what? All right.
Yeah.
Awesome. If there's any liberals that walk by, tell them to stop by and have a discussion. They're all running, brother. They're terrified. What's up, man? Yeah, they're like I told you. I said it earlier. Like libs never want to debate, dude. They just want to yell from the side. Shout out to where's Bandana Man? Did he leave?
No, he left.
He at least tried.
Bandana Man.
I just have a question. Is there any candidate in the future that you would think about voting for? Or do you think that both parties are too influenced by say another country?
Yeah.
Wow, that is a very good question.
Right now, both parties are cucked to Israel. So we're gonna need to. It's probably gonna take a couple election cycles to get more young blood in there because the problem is that a lot of these established politicians. The norm has always been.
It looks like the sun's coming out. Holy shit, that's
it's been
bright.
bipartisan, always support Israel. But now people are starting to slowly wake up. So I predict, hopefully in the future, we're able to deal with this problem. But yeah, if Thomas Massey ran for president, I'd absolutely vote for him.
All right, thank you.
No problem, man.
Yo, how you doing?
What's up, man?
My name's Yusuf. I'm actually Egyptian too.
Okay.
I agree with you on most things, like the Israel situation.
I agree with you on most things.
Situation and everything, but
what do you disagree with?
What do I disagree with?
Yeah.
Well, you talked a few weeks ago about, or maybe last week, about Islam and the detriments of it on the West. My question for you is if you agree that liberal Israelis or liberal Jews, they support the open border policy and they're the reason that people who come from war-torn countries and commit crimes here, they're the reason that they're here. So
is your question on my views on Islam, or what was the specific question?
Well, I have a few questions, but the first one was about the whole Islam thing with the Jews.
So let me just give you my position, because I think a lot of people mischaracterize my position on Islam. My position is, I think the United States is a Christian country. I think Muslims are guests here, and as guests here, I don't think it's appropriate to pray pray public areas of significant, maybe tourist attraction,
like
a Times Square, or have
right.
Adhan being played.
And see, here's the thing: when Muslims pray in places like Times Square, guys, to me, that's an act of war. That's like them coming into our house and pissing on our carpet. That's the way I take it. Why are you why else would you want to make a spectacle out of yourself in Times Square? The reason why they want to do that is, we are Muslims in America, and we are going to show America that you can't do anything about our presence. That's all that means.
5 times a day in U.S. cities. I don't think that's appropriate.
But
to be done.
Say you think the U.S. is a Christian country?
Yes.
Okay, I disagree. I don't think the U.S. was found on Christianity. I think it was found on the separation of state and religion.
Yeah, separation of church and state.
Yeah,
but the separation of church and state was to ensure the protection of the church and the government from influence of either or.
There you go.
So the framers put that in.
Yes,
for that perspective.
That's why they called it separation of church and state. And the separation of church and state is the reason why Devin and I got married in Miami 2 years ago on Sunday.
It's it's the separation of church and state, not the separation of mosque and state.
Thank you.
But I do think that this country was founded by white Protestants, etc.
Right.
But I do think that this is a Christian country. We're here as guests. I mean, let's be honest. We're the minority. We're 2% of the population, right? So by definition, we're the minority. They're the majority, which makes sense because they founded the country.
Right.
So I think as guests, just because we could doesn't.
I don't completely disagree that we're guests. It's just for me.
You don't completely disagree that you're guests?
One of the things
let me be clear. I don't have a problem with them praying in public. Right. My problem is that when you pray in public, it inconvenience others, or if you have that being played multiple times a day and inconveniencing others. I just don't think that's fair.
Okay. Do you agree that the reason they're here are the Jews, though? Right.
Well, yeah. I mean, yeah. That's not all of them, but a lot of them, come from war-torn countries, which was due to our foreign policy, and our foreign policy has destabilized these Middle Eastern and Muslim countries. So yeah, it's created chaos where they need to seek refugee, whether it's here in the United States, Western Europe, etc.
Okay. And then I have just one more question. What do you think about Peter Thiel and Palantir?
Terrible.
Okay.
Terrible. He's literally a cocksucker.
That was funny.
What's
He's
up,
like,
man?
terrible.
First off, I want to thank you for being here. I think it's really important, that.
And speak up so everybody can hear you.
Oh, yep. So I think we owe him a round of applause, guys.
I appreciate that, guys. Thank
you.
Thank you, man.
Honestly, I'm a freshman here. I'm from Puerto Rico. I'm here legally.
Nice. Hardworking Puerto Rican.
Yes,
That's hard to find.
Yes, sir. So my question is, what's your piece of advice for me to really form my future and also make an impact in the world? Because I think it's not enough to be successful. I think you need to have an impact, right?
Yeah.
For
sure. And you can have an impact in your own way, right? Like whether it's you're like me here talking on a mic to young guys, talking about the uncomfortable truths, or you're an electrician or a plumber and you're contributing that way, or firefighter, cop, whatever it may be. My biggest thing is get a skill, be of value, be as competent as you can be, and be that guy that a woman is going to want to defer to your authority. I think if guys kind of focus on themselves and grow that way versus like chasing after ass, they're going to be way better off. Because the reality is the things it takes to become successful are counterproductive to attracting women, because women are a big waste of time.
Oh my God. Oh wow. The things that it takes to be successful are counterproductive to attracting women. Truer words never spoken. Truer words never spoken. Because when I was being a jerk off in Vegas for 3.5 years, I can't tell you how much money I lost in Vegas chasing pussy, man.
Don't have money, but if you got your shit together, then we'll spend less time.
For sure. No, but thank you. Can I shake your hand?
Yeah, of course, bro. No worries, man. Yeah, no worries, man. Thank you for coming. All right. What's up, man?
All right, so do you?
Hey guys, anyone has a disagreement, please come on the mic and make a line, man. There's no dumb question or dumb topic. So,
no, Myron. Stop lying. Stop lying. I'm going to call Myron out on that. Myron just lied. Dude, Myron just lied to the American people. He just lied to the... Look, this is a flat out lie. I'm calling out Myron Gaines for this. I'm calling out Myron Gaines right now. Myron, you're a fucking liar. You're a liar. You're a fucking liar. Listen to this.
Hey guys, anyone has a
listen.
Make a line, man. There's no dumb question or dumb topics.
Oh, Myron, don't do that. Don't do that. No, sorry. No, sorry, Myron. I don't buy that. Myron just lied to all of y'all. Oh no. You want to know why he said that? Because there are plenty of people in the audience with stupid questions, and Myron wants to embolden them to come up and ask stupid questions. He said there are no stupid questions. Nope. Sorry, Myron, I'm not buying that. Quit lying to these people, man. Quit lying to these people.
Yeah, what's up?
So do you think that the Epstein files should be released, and are they real in your opinion?
Yes and yes.
Absolutely real.
Right.
Yes,
the reason why
and
they're not being released is because there's more than likely compromising information there of Trump and probably Israeli government officials as well.
And do you think Trump should be impeached if it's released and he is in those files, like you said?
If he's doing inappropriate things or breaking the law, then yeah.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, listen, if Trump, look, real shit. Hey, if Trump is on the Epstein list, he's got to go. He has got to go if he is on the Epstein list. I said it. Listen, we got to hold people accountable, man. Real talk.
I'm Jack. Nice to meet you. I just wanted to, I've
Oh my God. Don DeMarco to this motherfucker. Fly, Eagles, fly. Fly, Eagles, fly. Let's get it.
watched a lot of your videos, and I just want to know, like, your view on, like, abortion.
My views on abortion?
As a subject.
They're wrong.
I've heard a lot of your videos regarding women, and how you feel about women, so I'm just kind of curious as to what your views are on abortion.
So, I have a...
Here's my views on abortion. I know you guys don't want to hear me, but this is... If anybody wants to challenge you on abortion, you have to come at it from this perspective, okay? Take religion and politics out of it. All right? Killing people before they're born is wrong. I don't care who you are. I don't care if you're a Catholic, Protestant. I don't care if you are a Democrat or Republican. The abortion being wrong has positively nothing to do with religion and positively nothing to do with politics. Okay? Has nothing to do with religion or politics. All right? I'm not a particularly religious person myself. Right now I'm probably agnostic to some degree. I've been grappling with this for a while. But I have always known that killing people before they're born is wrong. It does not get any simpler than that. It doesn't get any simpler than that. I don't care if you're a Democrat, Republican, it doesn't matter. Terminating the life of someone before they take their first breath is wrong. Period. That's it. It's as simple as that.
And this is probably my only position that wouldn't be like as far right. I think a certain period of time, I think in Florida it's like 4 to 5 weeks or whatever, right? I think that might be the appropriate route because, at that point, you might not know,
Yeah, I disagree with Myron here. I believe that life starts at conception. I don't care if it's a bundle of cells. I don't care about any of that stuff. Abortion is wrong.
Is it worth it to bring a child in when you don't have a stable family, you don't have a guy that's going to support you? That kid's
put it up for adoption. Have the kid put it up for adoption. Which is worse? And listen, at this point, you got to pick the lesser of two evils. Yes, I know the foster care system and the adoption system is corrupt and all that. At least the kid's got a fighting chance, right? Right? Like, which is better? Getting a chance in a cruel world or getting snuffed out before you even get the opportunity?
And end up becoming fucked up because we know single motherhood contributes to a lot of problems.
Yep.
But yeah, on this topic, that's kind of where I stand. I'm obviously always open to hearing other things. This isn't like a topic that I'm like, concern myself with too much. I know a lot of people that are more religious are more pro-life, and I respect that. But that's kind of my take on it right now at the moment.
Do you feel the same way about the death penalty in regards to just life or death?
So when it comes
to... that's honestly, a good question.
This might be extreme.
This is interesting. I am not in favor of the death penalty. And it's not because I want to go easy on killers, but because I believe in this life that there are some things that are worse than death. And spending life in prison is one of them. There's some things that are worse than death, gentlemen. There's some things that are worse than death. I can't, if I were ever convicted of a crime that could put me on death row, I would rather die than spend my life in prison. That's just me. That's just me.
I don't think we should even give them the death penalty. I think we should torture them. If I'm going to be honest with you, if you're someone who hurts kids, you know, do senseless violence, you do mass murdering or serial killer or whatever, like that, you know, stab that woman on the train. I don't think death penalty is enough. I think these guys need to be publicly tortured. And the reason why is because we need to send a clear message that we're not going to tolerate this bullshit. And I think it should be like, if I became fear, I call it the WBNN, the Waterboard Niggas Network, and we would just live stream that.
Oh my God, the Waterboard Niggas Network. Yo, hold the fuck up, man. Hold the fuck up, man.
No, the fuck you didn't.
Wow.
That shit all day. And I think that would deter crime because a lot of criminals might think twice when they're going to be embarrassed live as they're crying.
Oh, they will think twice.
You know, getting tortured for the crimes that they do. It'll make them think twice.
Yeah, awesome. All right.
Yeah,
well, nice
no worries, man.
Fly, Eagles, fly.
What's up, man?
Let's go, Myron. Thanks for being here.
Hey, thanks for having me.
So my question is, how did we get to this point in our country where half of the population can't tell the difference between a man and a woman? And
yeah, feminism. That's easy.
They think it's okay to mutilate children's body parts.
Feminism.
They come up with hundreds of different pronouns. I just wondering how we got here.
Feminism.
Can we correct that line of thinking? Do you even think that's possible at all?
Yeah, we can correct this line of thinking, and that's what Myron is doing. Again, Myron, Charlie Kirk, to a lesser degree, Ben Shapiro. Also, what's the other guy's name? I have his name. Steven Crowder. This is how it starts.
We got here through liberalism, right?
Level Up Man says WBNN. I'd call it WBNN. WBNN.
We got here through liberalism. We got here through feminism, right? And that's why this is a perfect example of what I mean, where feminism is the spearhead to almost every societal problem that we have. So
that's right.
First it was free love in the 1960s, right? Well, first it was birth control, no fault of the force. That leads to the creation and push of feminism. After feminism, then was the gay rights and gay marriage. After gay rights and gay marriage, now the alphabet community comes in out of nowhere, right? We went from letting two dudes get married, right, to now we're going all the way far left where there's 99 genders now. And it's just going to continue to get worse and worse. And we kind of, you know, dealt with this slippery slope. And I'll admit, like, you know, my generation is what failed you guys in this regard because we voted for guys like Obama. We thought back then, it's not a big deal, you know, just let them get married like the rest of us. But what ended up happening is we opened up that Overton window, and when you give them an inch, they take a mile. And that's kind of what's going on right now. So I do think that my generation bears some responsibility for that. But it's because most of us voted for Obama back in 2008 because we didn't have alternative media and we were so pissed off with the Iraq war and we're just so tired of that bullshit. So we wanted something different. And Obama was a great, charismatic speaker. And a lot of people bought it hook, line, and sinker. I remember I was 18 when he ran and I voted. So, but this has created a lot of problems because it came from the Obama era. But yeah, it started with feminism and that's how we've gotten to this point now.
So how do you think we can correct that line of thinking?
I think we're slowly correcting it now. I see a lot of young guys are starting to lean more conservative because the Democrat Party has done a horrible job of being cool and marketable to young men. Hey, Walter. And I see a lot of young guys becoming more conservative versus in my generation, a lot of guys were more progressive.
Because I know, like, when I was a kid, there wasn't really all this gender stuff. And then slowly when I got to high school and college, it kind of all slapped me right in the face. And I feel like a lot of people my age, they don't know that that stuff's just so crazy. It's just normal to them.
This 99 gender bullshit is a new thing, right? And as someone who's like watched the paradigm change from, you know, I was born in 90 to now, it's crazy. I remember being
Dude, I was born in 1977. I'm a Gen Xer. I've watched it from the start.
College and like gay marriage becoming a thing. And it was being controversial back then. But I did not foresee that it would get like this, right? So, yeah, that's kind of where we are.
All right, thank you, man.
No worries, man.
Appreciate it.
Yeah, no worries, brother. What's up, man?
So, I just had a quick question for you. So, I guess after Charlie Kirk died, a lot of people that were on the left, they were either criticizing him or celebrating his death. And people like Asmongold, who, as far as I know, you're generally positive towards him. They were, you know, supporting these people getting deplatformed and censoring them. But you're with Uncensored America. And I was just wondering, and to be clear, the people that are celebrating his death, I think fully should, you know, have punishment come towards them. But I was wondering, people that are just criticizing Charlie Kirk, I feel like it's our right to, you know, say we disagree with someone, even after they die. I agree. Insensitive. It doesn't really matter. I agree. I just wanted to hear what your opinion on that was.
Yeah, I agree. You know, me and Charlie didn't agree on everything, too. I think the big thing that we disagreed on was it.
Raffro with the $2 super chat says 2 sexes, 99 genders. Yep. Absolutely. And I've said this before. Yeah, there are 157,000 genders. There are only 2 sexes.
It's real, right? And we had a discussion about that before. But obviously when he was killed, I kind of just, you know, I think now it's more about kind of uniting versus like still bringing up political grievances from before just out of respect is my opinion. I do understand that some people are going to still be critical after his passing, especially maybe his political opposition. But I don't know, is it worth it? Like, I mean, he's no longer here to defend his beliefs, right? So I think criticizing him at this point now is kind of, you know, a waste of time. But I do understand that people, especially on the left, are going to do that. But yeah, celebrating anyone's death, whether left or right, is a big problem. Like, you know, if someone, you know, on the left was like a big political commentator on the left was killed in that manner, I would say we need to find the individuals responsible and put them in the WBNN, the Waterboard Niggas Network.
Absolutely. The WBNN.
That's kind of where we are now, unfortunately. And I would argue that the left tends to be more violent when it comes to politics than conservative.
Absolutely.
And I know a lot of liberals might say that's not true or whatever, but I think it's absolutely true because they've never had to deal with, you know, real consequences or censorship for their worldviews. It's always been conservatives that have been censored, not the left.
Yep,
that's right. I would say that. Sorry, I was going to say. I think the problem, though, is that a lot of people on the right, a lot of people on the right, they have been dealing with this censorship, and I don't think that we should be stooping to the same level as the people that used to do it on the left censoring us.
No, I agree with you. Like them canceling Jimmy Kimmel, for example, I thought that was retarded. He made a joke. Yes, it was bad. It was bad faith. Yes, it was very poor taste.
But people shouldn't be deplatformed. I don't care. A lot of people say deplatform Destiny. Nah, let him continue to run off at the mouth, man. He is an American, and his right to free speech is guaranteed and protected under the First Amendment.
He should have been canceled for it. But like these individuals that are like celebrating on TikTok that are paramedics, nurses, doctors, whatever, like after someone's been killed, I think that's highly inappropriate.
That is crazy.
Because they're in positions of trust, you know what I mean? Like if you're in a position of trust where literally people's lives are in your hands, you should not be celebrating the death of anyone.
Right.
Because you took care to protect all life no matter
There you go.
Yeah, but I think just to wrap up here, I would say that just criticizing somebody, even if it's insensitive, I wouldn't say that we should cancel those people. I wouldn't say
I agree.
I mean, we can be negative towards them, but that's their right to say it. It's my right to criticize too, right?
Fair enough. I mean, if you're attacking people's ideas, I have no problem with that.
All right, thank you.
No worries, man. Thank you. All right, so yeah, guys. So the topics are: ICE did nothing wrong. Men are superior to women. Jews have too much power. What else?
I have a question.
Oh yeah, the alphabet community are mentally ill.
Robert Anderson said, "I voted for Darth Vader and Daffy Duck in 2008." Yeah, right.
Whatever you want. What's up, man?
So why do you think that we don't acknowledge Israel as a nuclear weapons program?
Because that would create a lot of problems for them if they had acknowledged nuclear program.
Do you find it ironic that we're bombing Iran for the exact same reason?
It's fucking nuts, man. I've said that before. It's crazy to me how Israel has an illegal nuclear weapons program where they stole a lot of the technology and uranium from us, out of Apollo. Yep. But they're complaining about Iran having a nuclear bomb. It's hypocrisy at the highest level. It's ridiculous. Yep. So it just that goes to show how strong the tentacles are of the Israeli influence in America.
So even if you say tentacles, they can call you an anti-Semite. Just
Absolutely.
For saying that.
I mean,
there you go. There it is.
Another place for being critical of Israel. It's nuts.
Crazy.
Right? So no, thank you. All right. Any progressives, any liberals want to get on the mic? If you think I'm a bigot or whatever it may be, feel free to tell me why. Okay. Let's try to get a disagreement out here, if possible. And again, I'll give you guys the positions. Well, we're on YouTube, so we can save that one for later.
Oh boy.
Okay. What's up, man? What's up? What's your name?
I'm Hatan.
What is it?
Hatan.
Matan?
Something like that, yeah.
Okay.
A little loud, yeah.
Yeah, just be loud so the people here can hear you.
Yeah. So I've seen like your content online.
Yeah.
And so like my question to you is like, what exactly is like, I've seen most of your podcasts with like women and everything, and my question is to you like, what is like your goal? Like what is the message that you're trying to send to men?
This is funny. I love when people come up and ask these questions because I get niggas all the time calling in. Okay, so you talk about black fatigue and this and that. What's the point? What is your goal? My goal is to shine a light on shit that people aren't shining a light on. Why don't you talk about white people problems? Because everybody else does. That's why. So this guy's like, well, what's your point, to having these Miami hoes on? Is to show men that this is how women really fucking are. We tried convincing y'all with Return of Kings, and we listen, man, Roosh, he converted a lot of people. People still didn't get it. We had podcasts, myself, Joker, Alpha Male Strategies. People still didn't quite get it. But when Fresh and Fit hit the scene, when Pearl Davis hit the scene, when Kevin Samuels hit the scene, they literally verified everything we've been talking about in the manosphere for the last 25 years. That's the point. Because at some point, people still disingenuously disagree. And this is why Fresh and Fit is still relevant, because night after night after night, to a woman, exceptions do exist, but night after night after night, female nature, the way we have described it, the way we've dissected, is verified every night. It's insane.
Young men.
What is my message and my goal? So the question is, what is my message and my goal with the podcast?
To young men specifically.
To young men?
Yeah.
To get women back in the kitchen.
Get women back in the kitchen?
Yeah, to get women back in the kitchen. Yeah, to have guys have the balls to finally stand up to women and say, you need to go back to the fucking kitchen.
All right. Do you think that's like productive as a whole? Like, do you
tell women to go back to the kitchen?
Yes. Do you think telling young men to tell young women to go back to the kitchen will work?
Yeah.
Hopefully, yes.
And I'll explain why. A guy that can tell a woman go back to the kitchen is a guy that's in his masculine frame. A guy that's in his masculine frame understands that he has duties and responsibilities to a family and to his woman. So by him telling her to go back to the kitchen, what he's doing is he's leveraging her greatest strength, which is making sandwiches, not making careers. So that's why I think men need to get the balls to tell women to go back to the kitchen.
What makes you think that women aren't capable of leading the same careers as men?
What makes me think that women are capable of
aren't capable of leading the same careers as men?
Because they're inferior to us in almost every metric that matters. They're weaker, they're smaller, they're shorter, they're more susceptible to, they're more vulnerable. They're just not equal to us in any way. Now, again, I want to be clear about this. This doesn't mean from an inherent human value. I would argue from a human value, actually, they hold more value because they incubate the next generation.
Absolutely.
But when it comes to practicality and performance, men are superior in every regard.
So then my question to you is, in the modern day, with you mentioned these physical differences between men and women, biological differences between men and women. In the modern day, how much of this women are shorter or are weaker to men biologically? How much of that materially matters in the workplace?
Bro, look around you. All of the jobs that matter belong to men. the sewers, oil derricks, oh my God, millwright, welding, manufacturing, engineering, construction. Our infrastructure is literally built on the backs of men.
How much does a woman's biology and her physical inferiority matter in society?
Well, you mentioned women being like biologically weaker than men.
Yeah.
Right?
They
But
are.
How much does that matter on a scale of like if most jobs nowadays aren't?
Look around you, brother. Most jobs that you're aware of. See, again, men have done such a great job civilizing the world and building the world that people are beginning to take it for granted, including this guy. This dude is indirectly saying that, hey, you know what? Men are not as necessary physically as women. Yes, we are. David Izenwa says, now that was a stupid question. Yep. Absolutely. Yeah, sanitation, absolutely.
Work aren't hard labor. If most jobs are in the office, if most jobs are leading whatever it may be, corporate type jobs.
Yeah. No.
Yes, and without the hard labor jobs, the corporate jobs wouldn't exist. Because what if hard labor jobs didn't exist, where would the corporate types take a shit? Where would they even have their offices? Where would they even have their buildings? Come on, man.
I see your position, but that's what I mean when I say we've civilized the world so much and modernized it so much that like.
Oh my God, unbelievable! I swear to God, every fucking time, man. There it is. There it is, y'all. There it is. Insane.
We forget, like.
Oh
how
my
inferior
God.
women really are, if we're going to be honest, right?
Jesus
How much
Christ.
we've modernized society. Like, we've made it where it's like, oh, you're a woman, you want to join the military? Cool, like, just go ahead and come on in. Oh, you want to be a cop? Oh, yeah, sure, just come on in because of equality and inclusivity. I think it's all good to be equal and egalitarian until you get hit with reality again, right? And I want it where I think we need to, and this is why I agree with what Pete Hegseth did, where he, brought back military standards, said, yo, women shouldn't be serving in certain positions. We need to stay lethal and stay powerful. We don't want to be in a position where it's like, oh, we got punched in the face, and we realize, oh, we weren't prepared. I think it's best to be prepared from the beginning. So, inclusivity at the cost of productivity is a big problem.
But what is like the material productivity cost? Is there something that can be measured? Like, what is the true productivity cost of having? Is it? Okay, sorry.
Go ahead.
Like, is there a measurable productivity loss in having women in the workplace?
Well, here's the thing.
Not in the labor force, no.
I think that the productivity measurement that we should be focusing on is, are we having kids? Are we having nuclear families? And what feminism has effectively done is it's come in and it's destroyed the nuclear family because women are more concerned with chasing a career versus chasing a family. And I think that's where a lot of problems happen.
There you go.
I don't know. Like, I don't think that's entirely true. I think
you don't think feminism contributed to the destruction of the nuclear family?
To the destruction of the I think the loss of the nuclear family as a family structure could be is derived from a lot more than just modern feminism.
No. It's derived from a lot more than feminism now. But everything that has contributed to the destruction of the modern family is a derivative of feminism. Never forget.
Could be.
Of course, there's going to be multiple factors, but I would argue feminism has been one of the key ingredients to the destruction of the family unit.
And then who's to say that women are, they have to be confined to the structure of a nuclear family? Like,
they don't have to be, but you see what happens when they aren't.
Who says exactly that is the right path for women?
Biology.
And
having a family?
I mean, not. But why can't they have a family later in their careers when they choose to?
Because by then they're too old and used up, unfortunately. Right?
Here you go.
By the time a woman hits in her 30s, most of her eggs are gone. So it's going to be significantly harder for her to actually have children into her 30s. So she should be trying to mate and have children when she's younger.
I mean, there's still plenty of women now who are having children in their 30s, and
sure, but that's why we got more retards.
There you go. There it is. That's why they have there it is. That's why you have more retards and autism and health problems with kids. That's why you got kids with Downs. I mean, this is why kids are more sick and diseased than ever because women are because people are being incubated in old wombs with old eggs. Like, guys, I've always said that I was blessed with fantastic genetics. Guys, I have fantastic teeth, okay? I just went and got my teeth cleaned. I hadn't been to the dentist since 2009. 2009, guys. That is 16 years. And my dentist told me, you have beautiful teeth. She told me I have beautiful teeth. I've had one cavity in my life. That's when I was 13 years old. I have that same filling. Same filling. I have no other cavities. Okay? I have destroyed my body with drugs and alcohol and food and all that good stuff. And I am still in good health. And part of the reason for that is because of good genetics. But the major reason for that is because my mother had me when she was 18 years old. You see, the younger the mother, the better the genetics. Why else do you think that at the NBA draft, the NFL draft, there are so many young single mothers? My mama had me when she was 15 years old, and it's always been me and her. That's why that nigga is 6'4", 250 pounds, and runs a 4.4 40, and had 165 tackles at OU last season. Because mama had you younger. The younger mama has you as a child, the stronger you turn out to be. My mother had me when she was 18. That's why I'm big and strong. That's why I'm big and strong. Dude, I'm 6'2". My other brother is 6'4". My other brother is 5'11". He's probably wider than he is tall. My mother had us when we were young. My mother had 5 children by the time she was 23 years old. None of us, and I mean none of us, have any health problems to speak of. Absolutely zero. And I'm telling, zero health problems. Zero health. Dude, I've trashed my body with drugs and alcohol and bad food. The worst that's happened to me is I had high blood pressure. My blood pressure is lower now because I'm taking care of myself. Other than that, I'm good. And again, I'll put it to you this way. Why do you think so many professional athletes come from single mothers? Because they had their children when they were young. They fucked around with the alpha niggas, had kids at 15, 16, 17, 18 years old. Their sons grow up to be 6'4". That's what happens. If you want big, strong, healthy children, you got to have them when they're young. That's the way it goes.
And all these other mental problems is because, women are having kids later, kids come out retarded, you know what I mean? It's like, it's ridiculous. So I think if we want to have, an optimal, healthy society, women should be having children when they're at their optimal health.
Yeah, dude, Max says my mom was 16. Yep. Trinity Boy says mine was 22. There it is.
So in their 20s. Now, just because women can have kids at 30 doesn't mean that we should allow that to happen, because a lot of them have failed pregnancies as well.
Would you not say that completely excluding that part of the population from the workplace would actually be...
Why would you do that?
Less productive as a whole for society?
No.
Say that again?
Would you not argue that excluding women as a whole from the workplace would not really just be less productive for society as a whole?
Well, no. If you exclude women from the workplace, we get more productivity. Full stop. Men work harder than women, guys. That's all there is to it. Even qualified women, they don't work as hard as men. Sorry.
You have to do it in segments, right? You can't just say, all right, all you guys back to the kitchen right now. We have to do it in waves. Like when you're getting on a plane and they say, all right, party 1 can get on now. Party 2, you guys can get on. We got to do it like in waves. All right, hot girls, you go back to the kitchen. Wait a little bit. All right, you mids, now you guys can go back to the kitchen. Then, wait a little bit more. All right, you fat hoes can go back to the kitchen, but you can't eat nothing. You know what I mean? Like, we just got to go. We got to do it in like waves.
I mean, I disagree. I think, especially
with doing it in waves.
Well, that and
no, he disagrees with taking women out of the workplace.
Entire concept, but
you do agree that the fat women got to go last.
I didn't say that. But
okay.
See, there it is.
I think especially with like modern reproductive methods like IVF and all these like different like.
Again, listen, and he's right. IVF gives women the opportunity to have kids at later ages. But again, the older a woman is when she has a child, the more health problems she has. Dude, I've actually forgotten her name. When I moved to Vegas, I became really good friends with a woman. God, I forgot what her fucking name was. Okay, she had a daughter, right? She had a daughter when she was 32 years old. Right, and every once in a while, I'll catch up with her. I'll see her on Instagram, Facebook, whatever the case may be. And listen, her daughter grew up to be, a beautiful young lady. She's doing well in school. Blah 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 blah. Guess what? Her daughter has all kinds of tooth problems. This girl, I think she's like 16, maybe 17 years old, maybe about to turn 18. I can't remember exactly. She has severe allergies. Okay. She has all kinds of tooth and dental problems. She has eyesight problems, right? The reason why that kid, and it's not that she's not a healthy kid, but the reason why she has all of these problems is because her mother had her at such a late age, 32 years old. If that woman had had her daughter at 22, that kid would be a lot better off now. That's why. Yeah, she's a healthy kid, and she, I guess she's, she's doing well in school. She's got a good brain. But she has bad teeth. She has bad teeth. She has bad eyesight and severe allergies. That's because she had her kid at 32 years old. Z Bruce Lee with the $10 Cash App says, much respect. You speaking so much truth. Appreciate that, man. If you want to be cool like Z Bruce Lee, send your boy Cash App to $Donovan Sharp. You will see my legal name, which is Edwin Hopkins. Not to worry. We are one and the same. Appreciate that, Bruce.
Ways that science has brought about having children. Women don't have to be forced into having children early on at the cost
of
their
they
careers.
No,
well, again, they could go ahead and sacrifice a family, but I think the problem here is that we don't educate women enough to tell them, like, look, if you want to pursue a career, fine.
Z Bruce Lee with another $2 Rumble rant. He says, my mom had me at 29. I feel pretty average physically. I'm telling you. And guys, I'm being dead ass. I am dead ass. I think this needs to be a study. Any and listen, exceptions do exist. But I think there needs to be a study. I want to do like a mass study or a mass poll of the physically superior to the physically inferior. And I want to know the average age of their mothers at the time of birth. I guarantee you that better than 9 out of 10 physically, genetically superior people, men and women, had young mothers when they were birthed. Physically, genetically inferior people, their mothers are probably in their 30s, possibly in the... Dude, didn't Janet Jackson give birth at age 50 years old? That kid doesn't have a fucking chance. The fuck you doing coming out of a 50-year-old womb before? What are you fucking... A 50-year-old womb? What are we doing? Yes, the bigger, stronger, and faster you are, the younger your mothers tend to be. Real talk. Yeah, Diabolical Man says, my mom had me at 16. I'm Superman. I'm telling you. Dana Gonzalez, member for 6 months, says, good milestone. Plan to be here for a while. Thank you very much. Jethro Raffro with a $5 super chat says, Myron says there are only 2 genders. Sometimes he should be saying 2 sexes, should mention something to him so he can be more accurate. Yeah, I've presented this to him before.
But understand that as you rise up the ranks and make more money and increase your status, your ability to formulate a family is going to be significantly harder. Because as women acquire resources...
I've said this all the time, and Myron's about to say it, and he actually got it from me. And I talked about this way back in 2018 when he was calling into my show. The more money, status, career earnings, money, toys, all that, the more a woman acquires, the further she shrinks her pool of potential suitors. Because you get older, which makes you less attractive. You get more masculine, which makes you less attractive. Obviously, the older you are, the less able your body is to reproduce, right? The more status a woman acquires, the further she shrinks her pool of potential suitors. That's the way it is, right? The more successful men get, the more doors open. The more successful women get, the more doors close.
Their standards go up. As their standards go up, fewer and fewer men can meet.
Jermaine Habib says, oh, this theory is being proven by Fresh, whose mom had him when she was 40. There you go. There it is. And again, I'm sure that there is some 6'5" alpha nigga whose mom had him at 31, 32 years old. Not a lot of them out there.
That standard.
Is it really? Do you really think that women have too high of standards though? Like, do you really?
Yes,
do I think that
they do.
Too high of standards? Do you
Yes.
that?
Women's standards are way too high. Way too high. We got girls that are mids wanting like a dude 6 foot plus, making $100,000 plus a year. Like, and I don't blame social media on that, and them being educated and having access to more resources.
I mean, I think there's definitely some social media has contributed, but I think that also applies to men in the same vein. I think a lot of men have also distorted reality on...
No, we do not have distorted reality. You want to know why we don't have distorted reality? Because the world doesn't allow us to have distorted reality. Social media and TV and television movies, they don't cater to us. They don't tell us that we deserve the world just because we exist. No. The world tells men very, very quickly if we are fucking losers. Not so much with women. We're all aware of male losers because the world lets you know very quickly if you are inadequate. The same does not apply to women.
What they expect.
I would argue, so I see your perspective. If I took 100 men and I took 100 women and I asked the men to rank themselves of where they think they stand in the sexual marketplace, like what they would rate themselves.
There it is.
Versus if I took 100 women and asked them where they rate themselves, the men would probably be closer to where they actually stand. So in other words, the guys would probably be more humble and rate themselves as 5, 6, 7, right? More average, versus a majority of the women are going to say I'm a 10.
8, 9, 10.
So there's a very stark contrast between...
Yeah, look, it's real simple. Men tend to undervalue themselves. Women tend to overvalue themselves. That's the way it is. Jethro Raffro, member for 20 months. Says, when's the next time you might go on the show? I actually plan to go on Fresh and Fit sometime in November, so next month.
How the gender see...
Jethro Raffro has gifted one Donovan Sharp membership at Jaber to welcome him to the TSR family.
Themselves in their value. Women tend to overestimate their sexual market value versus men tend to undervalue theirs.
I swear. Y'all, for real, like, dude. Guys, I feel like a proud papa here. I feel like, listen, and again, let's just make one thing clear. Let's make one thing clear. I know a lot of you guys like to call me the kingmaker, and you discovered, no. I didn't discover Myron. Myron was already doing YouTube content. He was doing fitness content when I discovered him, right? But his talent jumped off the screen to me. It jumped off the screen to me. For whatever reason, I have the unique ability to sort of spot gems before they shined. I knew Pearl was going to be big. I knew Myron was going to be big. And I knew Kevin was going to be big. Okay? I have an eye for talent. That's just all there is to it. But just because I have an eye for talent doesn't mean I'm a kingmaker. Because looking where Myron's at now, it's pretty clear that if I hadn't discovered him, someone else would have. He would have gotten here with or without me, guys. Am I wrong?
So I understand what you're saying, but my question to you then is, do you not think that's a result of the patriarchy in some way? In that,
oh, here we go.
Man, and a lot.
I'm a short man. Yeah. There. How about that? How about that? This genetically inferior beanpole is a short fucking man. No wonder he endorses this shit. No wonder he endorses women going out and getting a career and then having kids at 35. I wonder how old his mother was when she had him. Huh? I wonder how old she was when she had you, my guy. I wonder how old she was when she had you. Did it ever occur to you, my curly-haired short friend, that the reason why you are short and physically and genetically inferior is because your mother fell into the same trap that you're endorsing right now? Huh? Ask any short, little spindly, genetically inferior man who endorses this bullshit line of thinking. How old was your mother when she had you? How old was your mother when she had you? Me and my brothers, we are all big, healthy, strapping men, well into our 40s. We are big and we are strong. Our mothers had us between the ages of 18 and 23. Ask him how old his mother was when she had him.
It's gonna be hard for you to get a chick.
Well, I have a girlfriend. I have a long-term girlfriend, and it's
how long have you
been for you?
About a year and a half now, and
oh, you done. Oh boy. Oh boy. Oh, you done fucked up now. You done fucked up now. Ye tried to flex and say I have a girlfriend. Uh-oh. It's almost as though Myron is about to lead him into the how tall are you? We all remember when Kevin was at his best. As soon as he asked the bitch, how tall are you? Oh, shit. Here we go. So as soon as he went, well, I have a girlfriend. Really? How long have you been together? How did you meet? How old are you? How old is she? Talk about your relationship. Don't do it, my guy. Don't do it. Don't do it.
Wait, you guys met in college?
No, in high school.
So as you guys age, if your status doesn't go up and you don't make more money and she either comes close to you or surpasses you, your chance of staying in said relationship are going to drop off precipitously.
Okay,
that's right. The hardcore reality because women are resource extractors. Women are, hypergamous.
Well, but what I'm trying to say is that a lot of the things that I've gotten as a short man or as whatever have been primarily from men. And I think a lot of you rated men talking about rating them lower on the social ladder. Like if you asked a man where he places on the social ladder, he'd rank himself lower. Do you not think a lot of that is because it's standards imposed by men on men as well?
It's not standards. It's the fucking truth. You are short and you are weak. No one's going to respect you unless you have a mouthpiece or unless you have hyper focus and drive. Sorry. You're a little spindly, little geeky little dude, okay, on a college campus debating a man who is better than you in every way, and you want to debate him on the hierarchy? My guy, you sound like a woman. Yes, men, we judge each other. If you are big and strong, bet. You're probably at the top of the hierarchy. If you are small and weak like this guy, you're probably not.
Yeah, and that's a good thing because we tend to operate in reality because of these standards.
Thank you.
Women don't have those standards.
Damn right.
Like I was discussing this before. Women don't understand the concept of hierarchy.
No, they don't. He doesn't either. That's why he's bitching and moaning about getting picked on about being short and weak by other men.
They don't understand the concept of hierarchy because it's not required for them to mate.
There it is.
Right. So I'll start from the beginning. Everyone is put on earth to mate, right, and have children. For men, for us to have children and mate, we must rise up the ranks in the hierarchy to have sexual access to women. For women to mate, they don't have to rise up the hierarchy to have sexual access. So since they don't need to understand hierarchy to get sexual access, they just exist. And they're not aware of this stuff. But I'll explain even better in your situation.
There it is, man. Sean Morris with the $5 super chat says, my mom was 20 when she had me. I'm 6 feet. I'm taller than both parents. At 54, I look 15 years younger from what I'm told. You are 578% correct, Don. I'm trying to tell you. Dude, my father, what is my dad? Maybe 5'9"? My dad might be 5'9". Maybe. My mom, she's a woman. She's like 5'2". My mom is 5'2". My father is 5'8", possibly 5'9". Okay? My youngest brother is 5'11". I'm 6'2". My middle brother with an M, like Monopoly, is 6'4". There it is. Chris Williams with the $1 super chat, or $2 super chat says, just glad you were doing well, brother. Absolutely.
If your woman stayed the way that she is right now.
Ooh, my Amazon package is 3 stops away.
Now, you're never leaving her. But if you stay the way that you are right now, she's going to leave you. See the difference?
Oops!
Can I say something to you?
Because she's going to expect you to grow, right? And earn more money, increase your status.
As she should. She's a woman, and you're supposed to be the provider. SDSM Gaming with the $5 super chat says, do you think men should grow their beards out?
Yep.
Absolutely. They should definitely grow their beards out, and they should also learn the difference between there, and there.
And be at least close to, if not a breadwinner.
That's something I expect of myself as well, is to grow my career. That's something I expect of myself
as
well.
Of course, but understand that.
Because you're a man.
She doesn't have to change what you do. And that's precisely my point. Because men are fundamentally held to a hierarchy standard, whether they want to accept it or not.
Okay, I understand what you're saying in that vein specifically, but I mean, when I started dating her, I was jobless, I didn't have any money, and there was really no issue with that, and I picked up...
Yeah, there was really no issue with that at the time, but if you're jobless and rudderless in 5 to 10 years, she's out.
Job out of my own volition, and even to this day, it's never really been a point of contention, because I lost a job, and nothing changed. It was like, I don't know, I think like...
Not only that, you're both in college. She doesn't expect you to provide anything.
I'm not going to argue with you. I think there are shallow people in the world. I think there are shallow people.
But it has nothing to do with being shallow. We are judging people we are judging the book by its cover. And while you can't always judge a book by its cover, you can most of the time. Fire on Air. I'm sorry, Fire on Hair says, yeah, I'm taller than both of my parents. They had me around 30. I'm strong as an ox, though. You're an exception to the rule. You're an exception to the rule. Listen, congratulations. You got lucky. You got lucky, okay? So did I. My mother had me when she was 18 years old. She was an 18-year-old married woman who had me with 18-year-old eggs and 19-year-old sperm, and that's why I'm still here now.
I think shallow people can take the form of both men and women. I think there are tons of shallow men as well.
I would argue there's more shallow women than shallow men.
Absolutely.
Why is that?
Because the things that women look for are tangible things that are there for their survival. Women, and they have to be this way, by the way. I'm not shitting on them for being this way, but they
absolutely. Listen, and just to make it clear, I'm not crying about hypergamy. Women have to be hypergamous. They have a lot more at stake than we do.
Be shallow because women are the more vulnerable sex.
There you go.
Women are designed to extract resources from men.
There it is.
The other way around.
That's
so
right.
why women inherently are more solipsistic, more narcissistic, and are more
fine.
selective in the process because they're the more vulnerable sex.
There it is.
Do you have any is that backed by anything?
I mean, it's backed.
Backed by anything? Bro, look around you. Women are smaller, weaker, blah, 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 blah. What are you talking about? So he's lost the argument. He's lost the argument and he doesn't have a rebuttal. And you want to know why I know he's lost the argument? Because anytime somebody loses an argument, they say, well, what studies do you have to back up your claim? Translation, I have no other rebuttals. I have no answer for what you just said. Nice try.
It's just biology. Like, if you pull 100 women, they're going to tell you, I want a guy that's 6 foot tall. I want a guy that makes 100 grand per year. I want a guy that goes to the gym. I want a guy that has XYZ. Now,
watch Fresh and Fit, my guy. There's your study right there.
Every woman is going to have different variations of this, right? Different standards within these metrics. But the bottom line is always the same. They want a man better than them.
So then, but I think, how can you apply, these old, biological takes from,
Old biological takes? My guy, biologically transcends time. There's no such thing as current, up-to-date biology. Biology has not changed since the beginning of time. Men have always been men, and women have always been women. Biology, my guy, is not a social construct, no matter how much you want it to be.
Very much more primal times in human history. I don't think they exactly, fit in and slot in perfectly to the 21st century. I don't think they exactly...
Yeah, and this is why I say modernity does not change the hindbrain, right? Like, it allows us to maybe... Right, with technology and all the human achievements we have, it allows us to kind of not operate in reality when we don't have to. But the ugly reality is that we're always gonna regress back to our instincts, and you can find this in what women find attractive, like the things that the attraction.
There it is. Stumbo99 says my mom had me at 29 and I'm 5'7". She had my brother at 30 and 31, and he straddles being 6 foot. I definitely say he's an exception. There you go.
Triggers are primal. They're built into you, right? Men, what do we look for? Young girl, hot. Big tits, nice ass, good shape, etc.
Right.
This is what men typically look for. What do women look for? Tall, strong, competent, healthy genes, right? So we're looking for replication value of we want to have good-looking kids with a good-looking woman. Women look on survival value. Can this guy protect me? And this is just how it's baked in.
So then my question to you is then how do you explain the epidemic of top men with tons of girlfriends that are hotter than them?
Because they have status.
Yeah, there you go. That's it.
They're doing something right. Whenever I see a man with a girl that's...
There it is! Dude, you literally just walked into how do you explain men with tons of girlfriends? Because girls are all chasing the same types of guys. EP Signature, welcome to Chat Privileges. At EP to welcome him to the TSR family. Welcome him back.
Out of his league, I know for a fact he either has money, status, he has game. He's doing something right if he's dating a girl out of his league.
But is that not, that makes sense, right? I think if a man has game, if he has a personality...
But the point is that he's got to work for that.
There you go.
For sure.
Yeah. Like, men have to work to get women. Women don't have to work to get men. Women have to work to keep men. Big difference.
I think maybe very highly attractive women, but I don't know if that same standard applies to just average-looking women or below-average women even.
Average-looking women have access to celebrities. This is why they're insufferable. Average-looking women are delusional and have high standards because they have access to higher status men.
There you go.
Because men don't care about hierarchy. A regular girl from this school, can DM a celebrity and probably get a response. Versus if an average guy here DM'd
if you were to DM, I don't know, Megan Fox or Megan Good, she ain't looking at your short ass. Sorry.
A celebrity female, DM Rihanna. She ain't looking. She don't give a fuck.
Right? Straight up.
Do you think Rihanna's a fair comparison?
I'm using.
No, Rihanna is absolutely a fair comparison because any girl on that college campus can probably DM Shaquille O'Neal. She has a better chance of getting a response than you do DMing Rihanna. Nice try, though.
Example of if a regular guy messages a female celebrity,
Bingo.
he's invisible. But if a regular girl messages a celebrity, he's gonna more than likely respond.
Part of that is just like
if she's hot enough.
Male desperation.
Male desperation?
Like, you not think at the part of it, it's just male being like men just being easy.
Well, that speaks to the inherent biology we discussed earlier. Women fuck who they want, men fuck who they can. Even if they're forced to fuck who they want.
God damn, this kid is getting absolutely cooked. This kid is getting absolutely cooked. All of his talking points, all of his arguments, all of his rebuttals come out of females. All of his rebuttals come out of females. He thinks he's cool with this fucking earring. You want to know why this kid has an earring? Because he's fucking short and he's weak. And he wants to have some sort of attraction level. He wants to be cool. Because this kid is what, 5'6", 5'5", 5'6", short, weak guy. He's got to prove that he's cool. That's why he's got the fucking earring, man. EP Signature has gifted 5 Donovan Sharp memberships. At Stumbo, Jermaine Habib, K Swifty, Raw Dog, and Keechley Messidor to welcome them all to the TSR family. Appreciate that.
All right, well, that's my time. I have to go to class, so.
No worries, man.
Right,
yeah.
Appreciate talking to you.
No worries, bro. All right. Anyone else, whether you think feminine...
That dude got absolutely cooked. Guys, I'm going to have to continue this tomorrow. Because it is 7:30 on the West Coast and 10:30 on the 10:30 on the East Coast. And man, I know I have to eat something. I'm not really that hungry. You guys know how that goes. Yeah, Smash 6 something says this is what happens when you're raised on an iPad and Red 40 diet. Yeah. Yep. There it is. Ice Dragon Kid says he needs to hit the gym and make money. That's right. Yep, there you go. He needs to eat better and work out. Alexander Sinclair says, I don't believe he has a girlfriend. Yeah, I think he probably does. Iceberg says he just learned the truth. He went in, started thinking. Yep, absolutely. Well, guys, congratulations to all of you, all of us, for making it to episode 1200. It is crazy. That I have done 1,200 live streams. It's just incredible that I've done 1,200 live streams. Absolutely nuts. I think we've learned a lot. There will be a part 2 because Myron went live again. So I will finish this one tomorrow. Same bat time, same bat channel. Be sure to join me at 3 o'clock p.m. Pacific Standard Time, where we will be continuing the breakdown of Love is Blind UK Season 2. We are on episode 9, where I believe they're the weddings. I think they're going to stretch the weddings out to 2. And then, of course, next week we're going to start Love is Blind. I think it's Season 8 or 9, which is in Denver. That is the American version. And when we finish with that, I'm actually going to start reacting to Pop the Balloon or Find Love on Rumble. I'll have to put that on Patreon because obviously Pop the Balloon or Find Love has gone all corporate, which is fine. It is what it is. Thanks for watching, guys. We'll see you next time.